Bristol, what the hell do you think you're doing? You didn't make me a single thing for dinner tonight. Are you mentally disabled or something? Karen, you should know that right now I'm at work still and haven't been home all day. In other words, I haven't had any time to make you dinner tonight. I'm sure you can make something yourself with what we have in the fridge. Always making up such excuses, aren't we? And I know that no matter what you do, you are always going to force Theo to love you. Please don't say things like that about us. Are you going to try and starve me today? You get your butt back here right now and start making me my dinner. Karen, how about you pick yourself out a pot or pan and make yourself something to eat? We have all sorts of food in the fridge you can make up, so get to it, please. Because if you're going to take the time to complain to me, then that means you have the time to cook. Then you won't have to starve yourself like that. I cannot believe this, complaining about what I'm doing to me like that. I'm not complaining about anything right now. I'm just giving you some ideas of what you could be doing with your time instead of complaining to me. I have work to tend to still here at my office, and actually, shouldn't Theo be home with you right now? If you're upset about not having any food ready for you right now, then how about you get your own son to do it? What are you going on about? Did you just tell me to make my son cook, huh? Stop speaking like you're actually dumb or something. In what world are you living in where you think you can tell your own husband to cook? Come home right now and actually do your job as his wife. I'm afraid that in this day and age, it's pretty normal for husbands to cook as well. And I'm not asking him to make me my food right now, am I? You keep complaining about how I haven't made anything up for you. So I'm suggesting that if you don't want to starve right now, then you either cook something yourself or get your son to do it. I have no idea what you keep going on about right now. Well, this conversation is going to end pretty soon anyway. What do you mean by that? It's going to end pretty soon now? I'm talking about what I'm going to do. So far, it seems to me that you haven't realized just how important it is that you take good care of my son and I. It's no longer any use for you to keep trying to avoid caring for us. Caring for the both of you? Since when was I supposed to be caring for the both of you any more than I already am? I understand that you're currently living with my husband and I right now, but the only reason for that is because you forced your way into the place. I think you should start appreciating what I've already been doing a little bit more instead of complaining, considering it's me paying all the bills. I'm going to make sure that you pay for talking to me like that. You're going to regret ever turning your back on your family. Wait, what? Turning my back on you guys? Right now, your mom is asking me to make dinner for her even though I'm at my office and can't come home just yet. I asked her to make something up herself, but she keeps complaining and saying I have to. Could you please make something for her so that she doesn't starve?
What the heck, Bristol? Are you trying to make a fool out of my mom now? Also, I'm not going to be able to make anything for her right now because I'm out of the house.
What? Why are you not at home right now? It's not like you have to work or anything today, right?
Why does it matter where I head out to? I'm not some child, so you don't need to be asking me that.
But are you okay, money-wise?
Ah, that's right. This month is looking pretty slim for me again, so could you spare me a bit more? It's not like you're using anything you make, right?
Excuse me? I know that you're going to tell me you need the money for things like food and such again, but I'm not so sure that you really are putting any of that money into food. Can you tell me why this month you're not going to have enough money?
This time, can you make it $10,000? That money is going towards something pretty important this time.
And can you tell me what it is that's so important to you that you need $10,000?
It's for the house, alright? You know better than I do that the house isn't the most accessible for the elderly, right? It's because of my mom that we're able to live in this house, so don't even say a word about it and give me that money.
I'm sorry, but I can't just hand you $10,000 that easily.
You sure as hell can. I know for a fact that you have that money on you and could send it right into my bank account right now.
And once I've handed you that money, you're just going to use it on whatever you please?
On whatever I please.
I'm really tired of this crap, so could you please stop playing games with me?
Well, I'm sure I will be using it on whatever I please. And then I'll be free to do anything I want with my mom. After all, once a little more time has gone by, my mom and I will no longer need you anymore.
Oh, I see. Sounds good, Theo. I'll get that money ready for you then. But this time, I'll be creating a contract regarding this transaction, and you must sign it in order to get my money.
Making up a contract when I'm your family. How greedy. That's why you're aging so much.
Say whatever you'd like about me, Theo. Just know that with each word you say about me, the less likely it is that I let you borrow any money. Theo, how are the talks with your wife going? Things should be coming to a close very soon here, right? You know better than anyone else that I've had enough of that woman. Even today, she didn't come home to make me anything for dinner. Don't you see that she's a bully and needs to be punished?
I know about it, Mom. And I'm done being her husband as well. But if you would just give me a bit more time, our plans will all come to fruition. Then both you and I can finally be free from Bristol forever.
Are you sure? Will we finally be able to move away from her?
Yeah. Everything is going our way with her right now. The house is all old and run down anyway, so we'll leave her with it. And then you and I can find a really nice place and move into there.
Theo, you have always been such a clever little man. That's just like the son I've raised you to be. I'm so happy I gave birth to a son as smart as you. Yet with that woman you married, she has no idea what she's gotten herself into, has she?
Pretty easy to see that, Mom. And that's why it was so easy for us to use her up and get ready to throw her away. Thank God I got married to such a rich woman, right?
That's absolutely right. Because of my bright little man, I'm going to be the happiest mother on the planet. Well, I hope that our dreams come true for us sooner rather than later, Theo.
Now I have something I need to ask you really quickly.
What do you need from me? Ask whatever you'd like, and I'll do whatever I can for you. Karen, I should be making it home earlier than normal today. Were you able to already get something to eat for dinner? We are giving you that house, Bristol. What was that? Oh, I completely forgot to tell you about this, but I will no longer be needing that house now. We're not even there as we speak. Both Theo and I have moved out of there. What are you talking about, Karen? That house is far too useless to me now that I'm old myself and don't have my husband around anymore. Honestly, it's complete garbage to me, so I thought I'd let you have it now. Would you please thank me now for not kicking you out of there and having it destroyed? And don't even try to come with Theo and I, because we are long gone now. So you've really moved out? Both you and my husband are no longer living in the house? That's right. You knew that this whole time I was the one paying all the bills at home because I'm running my own company and can afford it, right? I hope you didn't just move out of the house not knowing any of that. Give it up with your delusions about being the one who pays for all the bills. I've heard this and that about how you have your own company you run, but I doubt that company makes you nearly enough money to even be considered middle class. So stop acting like you're so amazing, would you please? I've moved out of there with my cute little genius son, and we're now living in a penthouse. What? A penthouse? So what I'm getting from this is that the $10,000 I lent him a bit back was used on that penthouse? $10,000? What are you talking about? So you have no idea what's going on, Karen. Does this mean that it was Theo's plan to move out of the house and drag you along with him? Well, the both of us wanted to move out of the house as soon as possible, because you are a total nagging bitch. Also, it seems that Theo was really excited about living with his girlfriend. I told him that I'd take care of both him and his girlfriend as long as he moved us into a really nice home. And he did just that for me and put all three of us into this massive and modern penthouse. I'm going to make sure to never tell you where the address is either. I see. Understood. I don't really care to know anything about the penthouse you all have moved into or where it is. But if you're telling me that this house is mine now and that Theo and I will be getting a divorce, then I'll make sure to take action very thoroughly. Could you please come back to the house for a little bit tomorrow? What the hell? Oh, now you're just sounding plain stupid. Also, to avoid things that might become a little bit vague in the future, let's make sure all of this is backed by legal documentation. How does that sound? Well, that's a good point. It'll be a pain in the butt to have to do all that paperwork with you, but it'll help us in the long run. I guess I have no choice now but to go back there. I'm sure you'd love to know about where we're living now too, right? No, not at all, actually. If you get on your hands and knees and beg for the address when I go back, I might tell you. Are you even listening to what I'm saying, Karen? Well, perhaps I just really want to see you on the ground in front of me begging to have us back. After all, my son and I have moved out of there because you're so annoying, but pretty fun to watch when you realize you're screwed. If you get on your hands and knees and then cry and beg for me to tell you, I'll give you the address. Ugh. Enjoy that penthouse with your son, who's only bringing in $200 a month, at most. What? What the hell do you mean, $200 a month? Ugh. All I meant by that was to tell you a fact about your son. I know you really hate being cast out by Theo like this, but stop being a sore loser and making up lies about him. If you really don't want there to be a divorce, then you're going to have to try a bit harder than that, all right? I ask that you first start by begging and crying for forgiveness from us. No thanks. I want this divorce more than anyone, actually. You do? Well, that was quicker than I imagined. I already told you why I don't want him anymore. He's only making $200 a month at most. So you can take him and be happy now. I'm not really sure how he was able to get a penthouse like that in the first place, but I can tell you right now he did not buy it. So good luck with rent next month, and know that I want nothing to do with it. Sorry to say, Karen, but your son played you really good this time. You had to give him a little bit of your money as well, right? Huh? Are you trying to make some kind of convoluted joke now? My son would never ever try to fool his own mother. I'm asking about that money right now. Did you hand him any? Of course I gave him just a little bit when he asked for it. He told me it was for this penthouse, so of course I was going to let him have a bit of my money. Wow. Well, if you're totally fine with giving him your money for no good reason, then I'm not going to say anything about it. After all, I don't really care what happens between you both. Anyway, make sure you come back over here tomorrow to fill out some paperwork with me. I'll be waiting patiently for you. And once everything is finished up and signed, you and your son will have nothing to do with me ever again. This is what you've both been wanting, right? Hey, Bristol, something doesn't feel very right over here. And for some reason I haven't been able to find Theo anywhere. Have you heard anything from him at all? What are you talking about, Karen? I haven't heard anything from him. I see. Oh, then he has to be with that woman. I'm sorry for not knowing anything about this, but you all have nothing to do with me, right? So could you please leave me be now? But without him around, I'll be in huge trouble. I've already gotten one notice saying that I'll be kicked out of this penthouse. Well, that's kind of what happens when you get a place like that on Theo's monthly salary. I'm sure it's no lie that he took the $10,000 that I lent him, along with whatever money you gave him, and used it all to force his way into that penthouse and now has nothing left to pay with, right? What are you talking about? No matter how you try thinking about your situation, it's all kinds of strange. Theo only works part-time and is only making around $200 a month at that. He's also been borrowing money from all sorts of really strange places, which does not help him one bit. I'm wondering if it was one of those people he borrowed from that he also got the penthouse from. I knew already just by the facts at hand that you guys wouldn't be able to stay there very long. But they are going to start asking you for your money since you still have some left. What? Oh, you have to be lying about that, right? So, you're really telling me that it's true? Theo played me good? I'm not sure about everything. I'm sure even Theo didn't know about everything while he was asking for your money. He was probably going to use all your money to help him pay off all his debts while you both started living there. And I'm sure that it's going to be pretty much impossible for him to pay for that penthouse alone, considering he doesn't make nearly enough money to afford the rent. Hey, Bristol, we got a letter in the mail asking for a very large amount of money. And the day after that is when Theo stopped coming back here. What am I going to do about all of this? Why are you asking me that like you want an answer? Who the hell else am I supposed to ask right now? Anyone besides the woman you constantly picked on and then bragged to when moving out of your old house. Honestly, I think you are very mistaken right now about me. What? I am nothing to you now, and I never want to have any part in your life again. I'm not family to you, not even a friend to you, and not even a kind stranger. You really think that after all you said to me, you'd be able to get help from me now? I don't even know how to help you because that money issue you have is the least of your problems. Well, how about you let me move back into that house with you? I have no idea how things ended up this way, and I'm not sure how to get out of it. I believed everything Theo was telling me before, but now I'm starting to really think he's in all sorts of trouble now. Well, thank goodness I still have that house that my husband bought for us long ago. So that means I'll be coming back to live there now, all right? If you're going to still be paying all the bills and everything, then I guess I'll let you keep living with me there. Are you all right, Karen? Because what you just said was all a load of BS. That house is gone now. I sold it. What? You sold it? But what's really strange is how you started acting like you could just move back into the house after giving it to me. I would have never let you back in. But luckily the house is sold now anyway, so we don't have to go through all that nonsense. I've moved into my own apartment now. I know that you're about to be kicked out of that penthouse and all, but I have to say, moving into a high-rise apartment like this is truly amazing. What are you talking about? You actually sold that house? That house was my frickin' house. How could you do something like that without asking me first? Are you the mentally disabled one here? You gave me that house when you and Theo moved out, right? What? I did? You and I both went and sat down to fill all of that paperwork out a little while back, right? When you were truly out of the house, you said it was mine and gave it to me legally. Did you already forget about all of that? Perhaps your early signs of dementia are starting to appear. Now that you mention it, I think something like that did happen. But even if that happened, you sold the house without my permission? Oh, come on now, you old fart. It's not that hard to understand, right? You gave me the house, literally changing the name on it to mine. That means I can do whatever I want with the place. I wasn't doing anything without your permission because it was my house and only mine. That's why I sold it for some easy cash. Also, back when your husband bought the house, the place wasn't that expensive, and neither was the land even. What are you talking about? Over time, that land grew in value. Not the house, but the land itself. And because of that, I was actually able to get more than your husband had paid for it. So I'll be kind and consider the money I got for the house as my settlement from Theo. Wait, oh, you're joking, right? You were able to make that much money off the place? Oh, that was the house I had so many memories inside with my husband and family. Then why were you pushing the house off onto me, calling it all old and run down before? Also, like I was saying, the house was not all that much, so I had it torn down before selling the land and materials. You had that house destroyed? All of our memories? All of your memories? Next time you want to treasure your memories, don't give them to a stranger calling them old and run down. The place is gone and sold off. I was never going to keep a place that big, so I think I made the right decision here. I cannot believe this. The fact that you took things this far, that was our house. Then you shouldn't have let go of it. You were the one that made the final choice and even signed all the documents legally saying that it was to become mine. Sorry that you regret it, but you can't complain about those choices you made to me. Listen, Bristol, I'm sure you still want my son back, right? Oh, brother. Where are we going with this conversation now? You shouldn't be picking on me if you still have feelings for him, all right? I'll let you have him back, Bristol. But that means you have to do something to get us our house back. You could even let us have that apartment of yours now for him. Theo wants me to do something to help the situation. Then perhaps you need to do something to help him. because I'm not going to bother with either of you. So, no thank you, Karen. I don't even think there is a single bit of love and care left in me for the little brat. So there. You're lying, right? You don't have to play this off strong anymore. The guy barely worked a job and was loaded with debt while going out to cheat on me with his girlfriend. He has an old whining mother attached to him and wasn't even able to afford a house for the both of you. You really think I want a parasite like that back in my life? All I felt by being married to him was stress, and it's finally gone now. Old whining mother? Are you calling me that? Who else does he have as a mother? You're a total bitch. Also, ever since the divorce, I have been feeling a lot more sexy. Even some of the men in my company are saying so. What? You are? I'm only in my 30s, after all, and the owner of a company. So far, I've been having a lot of fun with myself, now that I'm single again. Honestly, with how amazing a woman I am, you should be thankful I ever gave your son such a chance at being my husband. Well, I'm sure you'll never thank me, but anywho, you're asking the wrong person for help right now. Both you and your crappy son go find someone else to bother with your problems. Well, I guess I mean just you, since your son has gone and run away from you or something. Bristol, wait. If you leave me like this, I'm really going to be screwed. If you don't help me, I'll be screwed. If anything, all of this was your doing in the first place. Oh, shut the hell up, you annoying old hag. Not my fault that whole plan you and your sly son got into didn't go as planned. The fact that you're trying to blame me for it all now just goes to show how you're better off rotting in hell than being helped. Let's hope that your son comes back one day to get you. I'm not helping you any, so please enjoy whatever days you have remaining in that penthouse of yours. Goodbye forever, you annoying old hag of a failure. Once all of that talk was finished, I went and completely ignored anything else that Karen had to say to me. And in the end, after about a week of not looking at anything she sent me, I just went and blocked her number. She then turned to calling her son over and over again, but she was still getting no answers from him until one day, when she called him, there was no voicemail or anything to his number anymore. The only thing anyone I know really heard about him after he ran off is that he was seen climbing into the back of a freight train and was going to hitch that ride all the way to California. There was also this story on the news about how a group of thugs had found a man who looked similar to Theo, but was bald and didn't share the same last name. He was beaten to a pulp over not having the money they had been asking for, and this did all happen down in California, so I like to think that's where he met the end of his story. Within the following week, Karen was then kicked out of the penthouse and had to move to the coast, where she's now working on a fishing boat. She's too old to be of any use out on the deck, but the crews made good use of her as their cook, where on some of the more treacherous days she's thrown back and forth in the kitchen due to the waves. I'm sure that's not the best life for a woman her age, but I think it's perfect for a woman her age who is a complete dick, and I hope she regrets everything she's done. As for myself, those past couple of weeks after I had finally blocked Karen were so much fun for me. I was able to have some time to myself more, and that allowed me to take time to travel a little bit and meet new people. And at one point during my time out, I ran into this really nice man at a bar I was at, and after talking for a little bit, we both learned that we're in the same kind of business together. When I told him that I'm a company owner and was recently single, I think that really got him going, and due to that, I'll now be going on a trip with him to Shanghai in a few weeks for both business and pleasure.
Hey, I'm going to be getting married here soon. Sorry for getting married before you, Brenda. Which is sad because I'm 5 years younger than you.
So you've decided to get married? Congratulations on that. I'm not really sure there's a need for you to be comparing myself to you, but it's great to hear that things have been going so well in your relationship.
You're 35 years old now, right? By this point, I'd say you're pretty much past your prime.
You don't have to say things like that. What do you think any of that accomplishes?
Well, I happen to still be 30 years old, and my wife is 27 years old. Isn't this crazy for you to hear right now?
Aiden, I'd be watching my mouth if I were you. I understand that you're so excited and happy to be getting married, but that does not give you permission to start bashing me like that, okay?
Bashing you? All I'm doing is saying the truth about you right now. I just think it's great that I'm going to be getting married to a woman that's even younger than myself. If you wanted to be in the same boat as she is when the wedding happens, then you're going to need to find yourself a man in his 40s soon.
Why are you mentioning that? My life has nothing to do with what you think, right? So, would you please stop it with all that jabbering on about my life?
I'm not jabbering on about anything. I'm just trying to make it obvious to you that I want you to try a little more is all. Is it not embarrassing to come in second place to me in everything?
What do you mean, Aiden? This is not some kind of competition, all right? I really want to know why you're going on and on about things like this.
Aren't you getting really worked up and afraid right now because your little brother's getting married before you? If I were in your shoes right now, I'd be freaking out. Being the oldest sibling, yet still not having a partner worth marrying yet, and considering you're a woman, isn't that embarrassing to you?
The only thing I'm worried about right now is that my little brother thinks the same way a man in the 1920s would have been thinking about things. We live in the 21st century now, and that kind of worry about marrying while one is young needs to stop.
What the heck? What are you trying to get at there?
If you don't understand what I'm saying, then maybe you need to put a little more thought into it. I don't want to talk with you anymore, okay? Just leave me alone and think about the things you've just said to me and why they'd all make me want to stop talking. Do you remember the last time you were acting out like this? You started to make fun of Dad and call him all sorts of names.
Is that when I made fun of him, always forgetting things, and asked him if he was already going crazy, or something like that? Was that really such a big deal to all of you? Because it wasn't. You all are just a bunch of tight asses.
I think we are all having to put up with a lot from you recently, because you've only become a lot worse when it comes to being kind.
What do you mean putting up with? I'm a very good son to both Mom and Dad, aren't I? I happen to be getting married early on. Very different from someone else in the family, right?
That's what I mean. I get that you're the kind of person to always think about yourself before anyone else and never think before you speak. But just remember that you should be thankful for all of us around you. If you start to forget that, then you'll be in for loads of trouble.
Brenda, when are you planning on coming here?
What? Planning on coming to what?
Huh? What do you mean by that? Don't tell me you've forgotten what day it is. You would never no-show on a day like today, right? So, when are you coming?
What would I have forgotten about, Aiden? What do you mean when I am coming? Where am I supposed to be going to right now? Was there something happening today that I need to be at?
Huh? You're lying, right? Are you being serious with me right now about that?
What is going on here? I literally have no idea what you keep going on about. Is this some kind of joke?
You're the one that seems to be joking right now. But I want you to stop that. You're going to piss me off if you keep that going, which would be a waste on a day like today.
No, seriously, Aiden. I have no clue what you keep talking about. Coming out of nowhere like that and sending me all these strange messages is not funny. You're just starting to annoy me is all.
Huh? So what you're telling me is that you really did forget about what today is? Are you freaking kidding me, Brenda?
I'm just asking you to explain to me what's going on here, for crying out loud.
If my family no-shows on the day of my wedding, I'm going to cut ties with all of you. Stop it with that stupid joke already, god dang it! You are about to make me go crazy with the way you're acting right now.
What? Today's your wedding?
Are you freaking kidding me? There's no freaking way. So you really did forget about today? Forgetting about your little brother's wedding like that?
No, hold on, just wait a second. What are you actually talking about right now?
The fact that I have as horrible of a person as you as my oldest sister makes me want to give up. No showing on the day of your only sibling's wedding? Like that is screwed up. If you don't get over here right now, then I'm going to cut ties with you and the whole family.
The date that's on your invitation is saying the wedding is tomorrow.
What?
You can get mad all you want for not staying level-headed and listening to me when I said I had no clue what you were going on about. But what I just said is a fact. I just took another look at the invitation, and just as I thought, it says your wedding is tomorrow. So your wedding should be tomorrow, right?
What are you going on about? You think an excuse like that is going to work on me? There's no way I'm the one who's mistaken here.
Come on now. Take a look for yourself, why don't you? Perhaps the invitation you sent me has the wrong date on it? I'm not sure who all else might have gotten a misprint like this, but if everyone got this same invitation as me, then nobody you invited is going to be coming to that wedding of yours today.
Hold on 2 seconds. I just had a look. You weren't kidding. The date on these invitations are all wrong.
So you finally had a look yourself? I'm sure you're standing there looking like an idiot right now, but I wasn't lying about any of that. Who the heck made all these invitations, Aiden?
I did. And I went and made dozens of copies of this to send to everyone I wanted here.
So, with that being said, everyone you invited thinks that your wedding is tomorrow.
This is not good! No way! You're telling me I didn't notice this error and sent everyone the invitation? Then that means none of the people I invited are going to show up today!
Well, that's what it seems like. Besides yourself, I don't think a single person is going to be showing up that you sent those invitations to. You should have taken a better look at your invitations and had your fiance look at them as well before sending them all out.
If none of the people I invited come today, what's going to happen to the wedding? If there's nobody here to celebrate me, then this wedding will be like hell!
At that point, I wouldn't even call that a wedding. I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but you're the one that did this to yourself, right? Your fiance, or wife, is it? Wasn't the one to send those out, right?
That's right! I was told to be the one to prepare and send them all out. So that's what I did.
When it comes to those invitations, the date and place are the two most important parts, so you should have double-checked that. Well, it's too late to tell you that now. Everyone's already received their invites.
I want to know what to do here.
You're going to have to tell your wife about all of this, right? That should be your first step. You have to let her know about what you've done. You can't just have the wedding and not tell her anything about what's happened.
That's a good point. I'll go and tell her about all of this right now. Letting things be would only make things worse later on. I have to go talk to her right now.
Good luck, Aiden.
Crap! She is really upset with me now. I would have been better off not telling her a thing!
Had you not told her, the reality of the situation you're in wouldn't have changed. I think it was a good choice letting her know sooner rather than later. And now this means you've taken responsibility for what you've done.
Right now she's blaming me for everything because I was the one that sent them out. If things stay this way, we won't be able to have the wedding because she's so upset with me. What am I going to do about all this?
Just a bit ago, you were getting all upset with me and saying you'd cut ties to me, right? And in the end, it was all your fault for this stuff happening.
You shouldn't. You don't have to add salt to my already fresh wound, okay? Right now, things are pretty tough for me, and I'm going to have to find a way out of this. Can you be a little more kind with your words right now? You're supposed to be my older sister!
Come on, you can complain about me all you want, but that's not going to help your current situation any, is it? You should have done a better job checking things over before sending those invitations, right? You had time to do all of that back when making the cards and then receiving them to send out yourself, right?
You don't have to tell me all of that now. I get it. But right now, I have no idea what to do, okay? Would you please start giving me some freaking advice instead of talking down about what I've done?
Well, when you start asking me to do things in that kind of bossy tone, I really don't want to do anything to help you.
I want to know what I should be doing right now, Brenda. If I don't act, then this wedding is going to go nowhere besides being canceled.
I don't care about that. How about for starters, you learn from all this?
Learn from this? What is there to learn right now?
Oh, please. You know what I'm talking about. Do you have no memory of the way you've always behaved toward me? About all those times you were so selfish around me and didn't give a crap about how what you were doing was affecting me. None of that rings a bell?
Behaved? I was being that mean towards you or something?
You picked on me for not being married yet. And you always acted like you were the best because of my situation.
I was just telling you the truth.
It's a very good thing to be as confident and happy about yourself as you've been. But when you start bringing others down to make yourself look even more attractive, then there's a major problem. You would also pick on my life choices and would even speak badly about Mom and Dad in front of them. Because you always behaved in that manner around us, I find this to be what you deserve. No matter how horrible of a situation you're in at the moment, I find it totally natural that nobody wants to come and help you.
Hold up. Are you really that mad at me right now? Was I really saying that bad of things about you and both Mom and Dad?
The fact that you can't even tell how rude you were being is awful. It's very terrifying, actually. If you're never going to understand that the way you've been acting is wrong, then nobody is ever going to come to your aid when you need them.
What? What is wrong with you, Brenda?
Another thing, Aiden. When you came over to Mom and Dad's house a little while back, you went and took some of their money, right?
Wait, took the money sounds a little bad. I just happened to not have enough money for myself, so I went and borrowed some from them. Why do you know about that to begin with?
You borrowed that money? Then what happened to you ever paying them back?
Well, that's the thing. I haven't gotten around to that part yet.
So then you probably shouldn't say you were borrowing it then yet. Do you even plan on giving them that money back?
I do, of course.
When?
I don't know when just yet.
Well, look at that. You don't care to get them that money back. If you cared to, then you would have given them a time frame so that they could hold you accountable. The fact that you are this troubled and always cause problems for the family is probably why you're getting what you deserved now, right?
I never meant to do anything wrong, though. I'm sorry, Brenda.
What? What are you feeling sorry about? I'm pretty sure you're only saying that to get me to be quiet about all the wrongs you've done to everyone around you, right? It's not going to work, so don't even tell me you're sorry again.
Hold on, though. I really didn't know that you've been this upset with me. I was just teasing you is all, and there was no greater meaning to it.
Even if that was all you meant to do, you still hurt me. You knew that too, because you were poking fun at me for things that one of your age shouldn't be doing. Since you act that way with me so much, I'm sure you act that way with people outside the family as well.
I seriously never noticed that any of what I was doing was bad, though. That's why I'm being honest when I say I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you in any way, alright? I want you to understand that, okay? I really do feel sorry about all of that right now. From now on, I promise to think about how I talk with you before I speak.
Are you sure you're being serious enough about that? Is it okay for me to believe you then?
Please, believe me. I'll make sure that money I got from Mom and Dad is returned to them as well. I'll even go and apologize to Mom and Dad as well. I had used too much money on the wedding, and had nothing left to put towards bills and food. So I was just planning on borrowing some from them is all.
You stole the ability to retire from Dad, you know.
Well, I never meant to do that to him. But now that you've said all this, my eyes have been opened. From now on, I'll be more careful of what I do and say, and make sure to take responsibility for my actions. Once again, I'm sorry for never noticing any of this and hurting you.
If you've come to understand what I've told you, then that's good. I'm going to give you a call right now. Luckily, you were able to have a good wedding after all that.
Brenda, thank you so much for everything. This is all because of you and has nothing to do with me. The fact that you went ahead and called everyone in the family and let them know about the mistake I made, and you talking with the manager of the building and asking them to start the wedding a little later for me. We were able to wait for everyone to come here, and from there, we were able to have this wedding. I am so thankful for all of that.
You're welcome. And you'll be thanking me for all that for the rest of your life.
I really will.
After seeing my little brother begging me to help, I couldn't just sit there, even if you've been such a jackass to Mom, Dad, and I.
I wasn't really begging.
Well, when you were on the phone with me, you sure sounded like you were begging. Well, that doesn't matter now. Just don't forget anything I've said to you today, okay? If you begin to clean up your act, then I'm sure in no time good things will start to happen to you again.
I totally understand that now. From now on, I'll try harder to show you just how thankful I am for everything you've done today. Thank you again, Brenda. Wait, thank you for literally everything, Brenda.
If you're still able to apologize and thank me like that now, then that means you still have a chance of being all right. I'm actually a bit upset that things turned out this well for you in the end, but I think this is a good turning point for you. Now, you make sure to treat your wife kindly, okay? In the end, thanks to all that work I put in, the wedding was a success for my brother and his wife, albeit starting 2 hours after it was planned for. Because of all my effort, I would be thanked by both my brother and his wife for a very long time, showing that they still had not forgotten about what happened. I didn't know how things would end for Aiden, but the fact that he was able to have his eyes open to his actions and learn from them is wonderful. He even came around to paying my dad back for all the money he borrowed before. It seems that everyone is a whole lot more content with my brother now, and you could call this a happy ending for everyone involved. And because of that, I'm a whole lot more relieved than I was before my brother's wedding.
Lily, why isn't my dinner ready? You haven't cooked for me these past few days!
Because I've been working overtime, Patrick. Your dinner is in the fridge, so heat it up and eat it.
Are you for real?
Why are you pissed?
Are you seriously going to make me do extra work when I just got home from work?
Oh my god, all you have to do is put it in the microwave. Be thankful that it's not frozen food. Also, you said about extra work, but don't you only work in the afternoon? I work from early in the morning till late afternoon. So shouldn't you be thanking me instead of complaining?
Are you talking back to me?
I just told you straight fact.
Would it be okay if I divorce you? Probably not, so do your job, you lazy ass. Maybe this is why you need to work overtime.
I actually have no problem with that.
You don't need to act all tough. Anyway, hurry up and come home and cook me dinner.
Didn't I tell you that I'm busy because I got promoted and need to take over jobs and plan events?
Okay, and it doesn't matter to me.
Anyways, I gotta go back, so eat your food.
I want a nice meal once in a while. It was a mistake marrying you. Please divorce me ASAP.
Okay. Can I go now? I'm busy.
You better cook for me tomorrow.
I have work tomorrow, so probably not.
Where the hell did you go? Where's my dinner?
I just told you that I'm at the hospital now.
Are you seriously still there?
Yes, I think I work too much. I'm going to stay at the hospital tonight and get an examination tomorrow, okay? I'm also going to take a few days off from work.
Do you think that's okay? You'll cause problems to the company and me.
I will to the company, but why you?
You won't be able to do household chores and cook for me.
You're joking, right?
Of course not. So I guess it's okay for us to divorce, right?
Why are you talking about the divorce now? Aren't you worried about your wife's health?
Why would I be? Anyways, I want you to cook dinner, so hurry up and leave the hospital.
Eat out or take out from somewhere. Jeez, you're such a scumbag to not worry about me and threaten me with divorce.
Yeah, whatever. You better come home tomorrow.
Okay, fine.
Did you forget what we talked about yesterday? Where the hell are you?
What did we talk about?
You coming home today! I was being nice to you yesterday.
What? Nice. Seriously.
Yes, I was okay with you not coming home yesterday. If you don't come home now, I can't eat dinner today either.
Okay, and?
What's with that attitude?
Don't you know that I needed your help?
Why would I help you? Deal with it by yourself and listen to your husband.
You're such a dick.
You know what? You are being such a bitch, so leave the hospital right now and come home to cook dinner.
Absolutely not.
Why? Stop making excuses. If you can't move, then why don't you crawl or something?
Are you for real?
Yes, if you don't come home, that means it's okay to divorce, right?
We're actually divorced already, so I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
Crawl home and cook dinner? Sorry, but I need to laugh at this.
Whatever, what do you mean we're divorced?
Well, I was fed up with you thinking you're the boss, so I sent the divorce papers in.
Stop lying, I haven't filled it out yet.
Yes, you did. You threw the signed papers at me a while ago.
I thought you threw it out.
Why would I throw out something that important? I was finding the right time to send it in, so thank you very much. Thank God we're divorced now. Hallelujah.
Shut up. Wait, are you discharged from the hospital?
Nope, just wanted fresh air. I'm actually going to stay at the hospital this week.
Can we please make the divorce invalid?
Aren't you the one that gave me the signed papers first?
Yes, but I wasn't gonna divorce you for real.
That was a threat. Sorry, but I'll not change my feelings. Also, I'm not going home, so please pay the mortgage, okay?
What? I need to pay for it?
Of course. I've been paying for it, but since I moved out, it's your responsibility now. Will you be okay? Isn't your monthly salary about $600?
No, please don't say that you're gonna move out. I still love you.
How many times do I need to tell you that we're done? Do you not understand what I'm saying? Are you an idiot?
I didn't expect for you to divorce me, and there's no way that I can help you pay the mortgage. You're earning a lot more money than me, so can you help me?
Are you joking right now? Why would I help someone like you? You treated me like shit every day, haven't paid even a penny for the mortgage, and didn't help me even though I was carried to the hospital. You're a self-centered douchebag.
Look, I'm sorry, but isn't it common sense for the wife to do the household chores? Wait, did you divorce me because you didn't want to do that?
Wow, what is wrong with you? I just explained why I divorced you. Maybe you were the reason why I was carried to the hospital.
Me?
There was nothing but stress living with you. I wonder why I married a person who doesn't even earn money, doesn't do household chores, and threatens me by saying the word divorce like 1,000,000 times. Sorry, but you're gonna face this problem from now on.
This is not like you, Lily. Why don't we talk about this, okay? We're husband and wife, right?
We're not, so no thanks. What is there to talk about anyways? It's just a waste of time. What do you want from me?
Come on, we're a family, so let's work things out and help each other.
Work things out. Help each other. Haven't I done everything for you? You never helped me, and I never heard the word thank you once.
Like I said before, it's common sense for the wife to do everything, so why don't you appreciate it?
What year are you living in?
I did help you before, actually.
Really? When?
Well, I can't think right now, but I have, though, maybe.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, anyways, why did you send the divorce papers without my permission? Let's make it invalid, please, and come home, because there was no way I can pay for the mortgage.
Nope. Good luck with that. Don't think about contacting me saying that you can't pay, okay?
Wait, please, don't leave me! Who's gonna do the household chores for me?
You're a grown adult, so watch YouTube videos and do it by yourself.
Why do we need to divorce?
I mean, you threatened to divorce me a couple times, so all I did was listen and sent the papers. If you want to make it invalid, I'll hire a lawyer and divorce you no matter what. If that happens, will you be able to pay for the lawyer?
Lawyer? Why are you exaggerating this story? Can we talk about this once?
Absolutely not. You're wanting to talk means that you want to make it invalid, right? Okay, I'll hire a lawyer right now.
Don't say something like that. Also, you can't just leave me at the house.
Actually, I can because my parents packed all of my bags and moved it yesterday.
What? When? Okay, wait, are you actually gonna divorce me?
Yes, how many times do I need to tell you? If you have anything to say, talk to the lawyer, okay? I think someone will contact you.
Don't say that, you're scaring me. Hey, I promise I won't complain, even if you don't do the household chores.
Wow, after all this, you still think that I'm gonna do something for you? I think I'm turning stupid, so I'll excuse myself. If something bad happens to you, remember that everything is your fault, okay? If you have time to blab about something, why don't you start looking for YouTube videos? Patrick tried to contact me a couple times to ask if I can help pay the mortgage for him, but of course I said no and blocked him afterwards. I heard that he got kicked out of the house and the house was sold to someone else. He's now living in the middle of nowhere looking for a full-time job because he needed the money to live. On the other hand, I'm feeling much better, and I'm back working, living a stress-free life.
Helen! Long time no talk. How are you? Hey. I'm good. What's up? Oh, nothing much. Hey, I'm going on vacation with my boyfriend soon. I can't wait. I just had to tell you. Oh, and I quit my job. Again? Yeah, selling cosmetics is a lot of work. I have to stand on my feet all day long. They only hired me for my looks anyways. It doesn't matter though. My boyfriend's gonna take care of me from now on, so I'm never working again. Ever. Oh, Mary. Work is never easy, you know? You gotta learn to tough it out. No thanks. It's not for me. So where are you going for your vacation? Vegas. My boyfriend is loaded. We went to LA a few weeks ago. We've been all over the world. It's awesome. What does he do? He owns a tech firm. You should find yourself a nice rich guy. Oh, I don't really care about money. Oh, you're no fun. Wait, I know. You're jealous. No. You're jealous. I got a rich boyfriend and you don't. And I don't even have to work. You're jealous. No. That's not it at all. He lives in this huge condo. It's crazy. He only wears designer clothes. He's always buying me really expensive stuff. He buys me anything I want. He's so amazing. And he's so handsome. He's perfect. Amazing, right? Jealous? I'm impressed. You wish you had a boyfriend like him. You're jealous, aren't you? Not really. But with your looks? I don't know. LOL. I got a boyfriend too. I'm happy. Wait, really? You got a boyfriend? What's he like? He's nice. What does he drive? I don't know much about cars. Is it a domestic car? Yeah. Oh, that's so sad. My boyfriend drives imports only, and he always picks me up in his car, no matter where I am. I could never date someone who drives a domestic car. That's so embarrassing. Ugh, aren't you embarrassed? I feel so bad for you. Okay. I don't mind, though. Lots of people drive domestic cars. Poor people are so pathetic. They live in such small houses, and all they do is go to the movies or the mall. So boring. Cheap restaurants, crappy vacation. So sad. It's just so sad, you know? I could never date a poor guy. My boyfriend rents out the entire theater when we go see a movie. And he only takes me to luxury brand stores when we go shopping. 5-star restaurants, overseas vacations, and imported cars. That's a must. Where am I supposed to find someone like that? It's not that hard when you're pretty like me, but with your looks, I don't know. LOL. Yeah, whatever you say. Hey, are you making fun of me? No. You're jealous, aren't you? What does your boyfriend do? He's a model. Really? You sure he's not lying, LOL? These days, everyone is a model. They just say that to get girls. So gross. You sure you want to date him? He's my boyfriend. Stop being rude. Seriously. What? I'm just worried about you, Hina. That's all. No worries. He's a model. I've seen him in magazines. I've been to his photo shoots too. I trust him. Don't worry. He's not lying, okay? What magazines? Can I buy them at bookstores? I think so. You sure he's a model? What if he's a porn star or something? No. I was there. It wasn't porn, trust me. And the magazine he's in? You were just reading it the other day. Really? Yeah, like 3 days ago. Wait, you're not talking about Prince, are you? Actually, that's him. Stop lying. You're just jealous. Grow up. I'm not lying. But look at you. There's no way you can go out with him. I don't believe you. You got proof? I'll show you some pics later. Send me some now. I can't. He doesn't want me sending other people his pictures. You might get jealous and upload them online, so... What? Don't push it. Oh, we're actually gonna be on the next issue. They're doing a story about the models and their boyfriends/girlfriends. The photo shoot is coming up soon. Just buy the magazine and see for yourself, okay? How's that for proof? What? You're gonna be in a magazine? You? With Prince? Ah, that can't be! How did you even meet him? I met him in the city. That day when I couldn't make it? Couldn't make it? Seriously? You ditched me for your boyfriend. I waited there for hours, you know. How did you meet him? While I was waiting for you, he hit on me. It was right after you canceled on me. Talk about good timing. Too bad you weren't there. Why you? Look at you. This makes no sense. And now you're gonna be in a magazine with him? No, that can't be. Oh, relax. You got a rich boyfriend, right? You should be happy. Introduce me to him. I can't. Come on, I'm your friend. What? You? My friend? Yes. No, you're not my friend. What? How can you say that to me? Seriously? After all those things you said about me? Give me a break. I'm sorry. And the things you said about my boyfriend? I didn't know you were going out with Prince. Whatever. I'm done with you, Mary. Stop texting me. I never liked you anyways. Have fun with your rich boyfriend. Bye. How can you say that to me? Prince doesn't drive an import, by the way, and he doesn't take me to 5-star restaurants. Oh, and his house is pretty small. Oh, and he loves to go to the mall, so yeah. You're too good for him anyways, Yuna. I was only kidding. Please. We're still friends, right? And if my boyfriend was Prince, I could care less about money. Helen? Hey, stop ignoring me. Helen? Hello? Pick up. Oh, sorry. I was texting my boyfriend. Did you tell him about me? Huh? Why? I asked you to introduce me to him. Oh, that. Well, I did tell him about you. Oh, thank you. What did he say? When does he want to meet? Never, LOL. He told me to cut all ties with you. So, yeah. Bye. Wait, what did you tell him? Exactly what you told me. You need a rich guy, right? And someone who drives an import? I told him everything you just told me. What? Why would you do that? Because he asked me about you. What was I supposed to say? Don't put this on me. Please let me meet him, please! Sorry, I'm gonna be late for my date. Don't text me anymore. Where are you guys going? I'll meet you there. Please don't. You scared I might take him away from you? Is that why? Huh? Look, if it was up to me, I wouldn't mind. Honestly. But he said he never wants to see you, so... yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. Oh, and I showed him your pic. He said you're not his type. You probably showed him a really bad picture of me. If he sees me in real life, he'll change his mind for sure. Tell him. I should be in that magazine with him, not you. You just don't get it, do you? It's your personality. You might have the looks, but you're a terrible person. That's why he doesn't want to see you. Then tell him it was all a joke. Tell him I'm really a good person. Come on, Hina, you owe me. What? For what? I don't owe you anything. And no, I'm not lying to my boyfriend, LOL. Hey, Hina, you're a good friend. I'll never do anything to hurt you again. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Please. Sorry, but no. I'm gonna block you now. What? No, please! Please! Hina, please! I'll do anything. Please! Please forgive me! Please let me see him! Please! Mary never got to meet Prince. She took out her anger on her boyfriend. She stole his credit card and went on a shopping spree. He dumped her and filed a lawsuit against her. Today, she works multiple jobs to pay off her debt. As for Helen's boyfriend, he became a really famous model after that. A few months later, he bought a nice condo and asked Helen to move in with him. Glad everything worked out for her.
I just can't accept that my genius mother, who aims for the medical school, is a high school dropout. It infuriates me. How dare you, a person of such low academic standing, pretend to be a mother? I absolutely hate you. Oh, here we go again. Samantha, you do realize that just aiming for something doesn't make you a genius, right? Anyone can aspire to be something even without being exceptionally talented. Plus, you're already over 20 and have repeated a year. What? Age has nothing to do with genius. And you know what? I learned from Dad that you're a high school dropout. The reason I'm not passing the exams is that your blood is holding me back. Samantha, I understand that you're feeling angry and want to take it out on someone, but don't you think that's a bit too much? It sounds completely unreasonable. But it's impossible for someone as brilliant as I am to fail the medical school entrance exam 3 times. How much longer are you going to keep dragging me down? I'm not trying to drag you down, you know. I genuinely think it depends on your efforts. Huh? Are you saying it's my fault for failing the medical school entrance exam? Well, yes, I suppose I am. After all, you're the one taking the exam and failing it. You could try to come up with other excuses, but the primary reason lies with you. What are you talking about? You're just shifting responsibility. How can you say something like that? Would it kill you to say something a little more supportive? Aren't you supposed to be my mother? But I think it's better to tell you the truth. It's more important than sugarcoating things. Samantha, as your mother, I truly want to be a support for you, even when you say terrible things to me every day. That's why I want to confront you directly without holding back. What do you mean you love me? It's unbelievable that my mother has such a low academic background. It's laughable how someone like you can lecture others. What do you want, Samantha? By belittling me like that, what do you hope to achieve? I want you to get out of my life. You're not needed in my life. Oh, you really do say sad things, don't you? And can't you please stop begging Dad for money? Huh? What are you talking about? Don't act all innocent. It's pointless. I know that you're borrowing a large sum of money from Dad, okay? He might stay silent about it, but I've seen him regularly prepare cash and leave the house, making sure it's not noticed by me doing the handover outside, right? Bart would say something like that? Don't you dare casually call my dad by his name. Well, he is my husband, so I can call him by his name. But is that story true, preparing cash and going out? I've seen him putting tens of thousands of yen in an envelope multiple times. It always happens when you're not at home. So you're the one receiving it outside, right? Just because Dad works for a prestigious company and earns a high salary doesn't mean he has money to waste on you. I have to talk to Bart about this. Just get out of here.
So what's this about? You said you had something to talk about? I'm working right now, so could you keep it short?
Well, it might just be me overthinking things, but I heard something from Samantha. She mentioned that you've been putting cash in an envelope and leaving the house regularly. Is there something going on?
Huh?
Samantha seems to think that I'm the one asking you for money. But is there something else going on?
What are you talking about? Look, I'm an adult, all right? There are times when I just need cash for certain things, that's all.
Maybe that's true, but you know how sharp Samantha is. She notices everything. It's hard to ignore her when she picks up on these things.
Well, that's not my problem, is it? She must be confused or something. I don't have any secrets.
Are you sure? This is really just a misunderstanding, right? There's nothing questionable about what you're doing?
Questionable? What's that supposed to mean? There are plenty of times when having cash on hand is just necessary. Like paying bills, for example.
But as far as I know, the household bills are set up to be automatically withdrawn from my account.
Right. Well, either way, I'm not doing anything wrong, I promise.
There's something else I should tell you. Yesterday, a woman came to our house. She asked for you by name. Is Bart here, she said?
What?
I told her you weren't home, and she just said she'd come back another time. She specifically asked me to tell you Bailey came by, and then she left.
You're serious? Why didn't you tell me sooner?
I'm sorry, I meant to bring it up last night, but I forgot. Do you think this woman might be related to the cash withdrawals you're making?
Wait, what are you getting at? I don't know any woman like that. This has to be a case of mistaken identity.
But she specifically asked for Bart. She was very clear about it.
Then it must be someone from work, all right? Probably one of our employees, or maybe a former client or something like that.
Well, if that's the case, wouldn't she have used your last name? Instead, she called herself Bailey. And honestly, if she's work-related, why would she know our home address?
Damn it, this is ridiculous. I told you I don't know her. Now I really need to get back to work.
Hey, Samantha, can you explain what exactly is going on here? Oh, you must have gotten back to the house. Why is all of my stuff gone? What on earth happened? Well, the thing is, we decided it was time to kick you out. You must have been getting in the way of my studies, and honestly, a high school dropout like you isn't suitable to be my mom anyway. Kicking me out? What did Bart say about this? Of course, Dad was totally on board. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten this far. We've decided to sell all your stuff and use the money to help cover our living expenses. So that's why Bart's been leaving my messages on read and not replying? Things have gotten complicated, haven't they? No, it's really quite simple. You're getting kicked out of the house and that's it. All your stuff is gone from here anyway, so you might as well leave right away. Did you really hate me that much? Obviously, it's miserable having a loser like you as my mother. If you're gone, I'll definitely be able to get into med school right away. Plus, it'll be great to not have a freeloading parasite who barely earns anything but eats up all the money. This is really going too far. I have tried my best to understand you, to be patient, but I can't tolerate this any longer. Oh, is that so? But what exactly can a lowlife like you do? Just go live strong and independent after we've abandoned you. You're just a failure of a mother after all. Well, it's not like I was really your true mother anyway. Because your real mother is that other woman. What? That other woman? My real mother? What are you even talking about? Listen, Samantha, the truth is I'm not actually your biological mother. You're your father's child from a previous relationship. What? Really? Yes, I never thought I needed to tell you before, and I didn't feel it was necessary. But since we're breaking off our parent-child relationship, I might as well tell you now. You're kidding. This is actually amazing news, huh? Is that so? I figured you might say something like that. Well, obviously. I mean, it's been painful thinking I was actually related by blood to someone as lowly as you. Finding out we're unrelated? This is the best. So let's just never see each other again. Even though I figured you'd respond like this, hearing you say it still hurts. But then, who exactly is my real mom? She must be someone super smart, beautiful, and amazing, huh? Your real mother is a woman named Bailey. She's the one who's been blackmailing Bart and trying to take over our house. Wait, what? Why would my mom be doing something like that? Are you jealous or something? Give it a rest with these lies. Bailey has massive debts, so she came back to town, found Bart, and tried to extort money from him. She's been blackmailing him. Blackmail? With what kind of leverage? Your father's having an affair. And not just with anyone, it's with the only daughter of one of his company's major clients. What? Bailey happened to come across some evidence of the affair. Since she was in desperate need of money, she decided to use it to blackmail Bart. As you know, Bart works at a prestigious company. If this affair were to come to light, his career would be ruined in an instant. Dad, an affair? Well, given that his wife is a loser like you, I guess I can understand why he'd want to cheat. You have a really terrible personality, Samantha. You honestly need serious help. Wait, so what happens to us now? What is Bailey planning to do next? I have no idea, and besides, we're no longer family, are we? But I need to start looking for a new place to live, so I'll be going now. I'll miss you, but try to stay strong. Wait! Dad, hey, I heard from Mom. She told me that my real mother is someone named Bailey. Is that true?
What? Jessica actually told you that? Did she tell you anything else?
Yeah. She also told me that Bailey has proof of your affair and that she's blackmailing you with it. Apparently she's been demanding money from you because of it?
Forget everything that woman told you. It's all lies, do you hear me? Everything is a total lie. You understand that, right?
But...
Samantha, are you really gonna believe anything a lowlife like Jessica says? Look at her. She's a high school dropout, barely getting by with a part-time job. She's nothing like me. We're not even in the same social league. Who are you gonna trust, her or me?
Then who exactly is Bailey? I've seen you leave the house with cash in an envelope before. And recently there have been women showing up at the door that I don't even recognize, ringing the doorbell.
There is no Bailey. You're my daughter, mine and Jessica's. Everything you've been told is completely fabricated. You mustn't believe any of it, got it?
All right, I understand.
What the hell did you do? How could you possibly tell Samantha everything? Did you even stop to think about how she might feel when she learns the truth? She could be devastated by this.
Oh, spare me the drama. Don't pretend you care about her feelings. You're only worried about yourself. That's the real issue here, isn't it?
Shut your mouth. Why do you even know about Bailey? I never told you anything about her.
I mentioned that a woman named Bailey came to our house. When she was here, I took the opportunity to ask her a few questions, and she revealed quite a lot to me. She told me about your affair.
Hold on a second. You're actually believing her? She could be lying to manipulate you.
From her perspective, I'm not her enemy, so she has no reason to lie to me. She even shared some details about how horrible you were when we got married.
What? You can't just take her word for it.
The reason for our divorce was your infidelity, Bart. You used your connections to intimidate Bailey and forced her to give you her child. You wanted to raise a perfect child to enhance your own status. I can only imagine how you manipulated her into doing what you wanted.
And what proof do you have that any of this is true?
Are you really that clueless? She has all the evidence she needs. If she wanted to, she could ruin you whenever she wanted.
What?
Right now, she's just playing with you. She's probably thinking that after she squeezes every last penny out of you, she'll drop all the evidence.
You have to know her. Please, just talk to her. I'm genuinely sorry for everything I've done. I'll apologize as much as she wants. Just get her to stop this.
You have some nerve asking me for help after you kicked me out of the house.
Kicked you out? What are you talking about?
You really don't know? My things are gone from the house. Samantha told me Dad and I decided to kick you out. I'm done with this. I'm moving back to my parents' place.
What? Did she actually do that? I was just joking about it. I never meant to kick you out.
It doesn't matter. The fact is, I've been thrown out regardless of what you intended. I'm exhausted with this entire situation.
Please, just convince Bailey to stop. I'll pay her whatever she wants. I can't deal with this threat anymore.
You're going to have to handle that yourself. You created this mess.
But you have to understand, I was only trying to manage things. I never wanted it to come to this.
Well, it has come to this. You think it's all about you, but Samantha's caught up in the middle. You're so wrapped up in your own issues that you don't even see how it affects her.
I know. I didn't want her to get hurt, but this is all out of control.
Exactly, and you brought this on yourself. Maybe if you had thought about the consequences of your actions, we wouldn't be in this position.
I was stupid. I see that now. I never thought it would go this far.
Well, it did, and now we're both suffering because of your choices. I have to think about Samantha now. She's the one who needs to be protected from all of this chaos.
You think I don't care about her? I do. I just didn't want it to end up like this.
But it has. You need to own up to your mistakes. It's time to face the truth, Bart. Running away from it won't help anyone.
So what do you want me to do? Just sit here and wait for Bailey to destroy everything?
No, you need to confront this head on. Talk to Bailey, but be honest this time. Stop pretending everything is fine when it's not.
And if she won't listen? What if she doesn't care about my apologies?
Then you'll have to deal with the consequences of your actions. You made this mess, it's up to you to clean it up.
I just want to protect Samantha. She doesn't deserve any of this.
Exactly, so start acting like it. Be a father for once and stop thinking only of yourself.
You're right. I'll do whatever it takes to make this right.
I hope you mean that because we're all counting on you to step up.
I will. I promise. I'll talk to Bailey and make this right no matter what it takes. Samantha, why did you do something unnecessary? Who do you think you're living off of?
What? What do you mean, who do you think you're living off of? What's going on here? Dad? What's wrong?
What do you mean, what's wrong? How could you kick Jessica out? You have no idea how complicated things have become because of your actions.
But Dad, you agreed with me, didn't you? I thought you'd be happy that I took that step.
What are you even talking about? How old are you? Are you really that stupid, still acting like a child even after turning 20? I've been pouring money into your medical school trying to support your future as a doctor. I wish I'd never bothered to fight for custody if this is how it's going to turn out.
Dad, is this really you?
If you hadn't kicked Jessica out, there might still have been some hope left. But now it's over. There's no one who can stop Bailey from doing what she wants. Your future is finished too. I'm done supporting you financially.
Wait, please, I get it. I'll bring Bailey back. Just don't abandon me, Dad, please.
I don't care. I'm already on the brink of destruction myself. As for you, I lost all hope the moment you failed your exams twice. You're an adult now. You can fend for yourself. Do your best to survive.
Please wait, Dad, I'm begging you. Hey, I'm really sorry. Oh, it's rare for you to apologize. What's brought this on? I've been abandoned by Dad. Everything Mom said was true. He only thinks about himself. Oh my, calling me Mom now? Well, that's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? But it does make me happy to hear you say that. Right? I've misunderstood you until now, but from now on I'll do my best to be a good daughter, Mom. Well, even with that, it doesn't mean we get a happy ending here. What do you mean? Don't you think that just because you and I made up everything is okay? What you did isn't something that can be fixed with just an apology. I understand that. That's why I want to keep apologizing until you forgive me. What are you saying? Apologies won't change anything. No matter how many times you apologize, it'll be useless. 0 times anything is still 0, you know. You want to go to medical school, yet you don't even understand basic math? No, then what should I do? It's simple. You'll have to compensate me for the things you carelessly threw away. Okay, that sounds fair. Yes, I'll pay. I promise I will. Just remember, there were many important items in what you threw away that I used for work. If you plan to compensate me for everything, it's going to add up to quite a bit of money. Are you really okay with that? That's... But I'll manage. I really will. I am genuinely remorseful. Oh, is that so? Well, then I'll also need to get compensated for emotional distress. After all, I've been insulted by you repeatedly. Emotional distress? How much is that going to be? Well, I'll have to talk to my lawyer about it. A lawyer? Isn't that a bit too extreme? Of course not. I've been deeply hurt by this whole situation. Plus, you'll need to have a considerable amount of money for yourself, won't you? You'll need to find a new place to live, after all. Wait, no, but I already have a home. Bart is going to face ruin soon. He'll be drowning in debt. What do you mean? Once that happens, that house will be taken by the bank in no time. So, does that mean I'll be living with you? I have no interest in living with strangers. Strangers? But that's... Please, wait a moment. Give it up. You'll pay me compensation and then we'll part ways. That's so cruel. I mean, you may not be my biological mother, but you're still a mother figure to me. Oh, really? Well, let me tell you one last important thing as your mother. You've blamed your failures in medical school on my genes, but since we're not blood related, that's incorrect. It's simply a matter of your own lack of effort. You need to remember that. But I really tried. Did you? Because if you did, you would have succeeded. Excuses won't get you anywhere. I know. But please, can't we just start fresh? I want to make things right. Starting fresh is fine, but it doesn't erase the past. You have to understand that. I do. I really do. I just want a chance to prove it to you. Proving it will take time, and it's not just going to happen overnight. I'm willing to put in the effort. I just need your support. Support comes with accountability. You need to take responsibility for your actions first. Okay, I understand. I'll take responsibility. Just please don't give up on me. It's not about giving up on you. It's about making sure you learn and grow from this. Life doesn't come easy, Samantha. I get it. I'll work hard to make things right. I promise. Good. Just remember, it's not just about saying you're sorry. It's about showing it through your actions. I will. I'll show you that I can be better, that I can make you proud. Then let's see if you can follow through on those words. Actions speak louder than words, after all. I made the difficult decision to block Samantha's phone number and sever all communication with her. This choice came after much deliberation and reflection on the state of our relationship, which had become increasingly complicated and strained over time. Initially, our connection had been filled with warmth and laughter, moments where we could lose ourselves in each other's company, sharing dreams and aspirations. However, as the months wore on, those happy moments became overshadowed by misunderstandings, disagreements, and an ever-growing sense of dissatisfaction that hung over us like a dark cloud. I found myself constantly questioning the dynamics between us, wondering where it had all gone wrong and what had led us to this point of no return. The act of blocking her number was not just a simple gesture, it felt like a declaration of independence. It was a way to reclaim my life and my mental well-being after months of emotional turmoil and uncertainty. I had poured so much of myself into the relationship, and it had started to feel like I was losing my identity, my sense of self. I knew deep down that Samantha needed to learn how to be self-sufficient and independent. I had supported her through various challenges, but it became evident that my constant presence had allowed her to rely on me too heavily, stunting her growth as an individual. As I made this decision, I felt a tumultuous mix of relief and sorrow. The relief came from finally taking a stand for myself, while the sorrow stemmed from the painful acknowledgement that it had to come to this. I had loved Samantha deeply, and it was painful to acknowledge that despite our best efforts, we had drifted apart. In the back of my mind, I hoped that this separation would lead her to reflect on her life choices, enabling her to learn the importance of self-reliance and responsibility. I wanted her to find her own strength and resilience in the face of adversity, understanding that true independence often arises from overcoming challenges. Navigating through the emotional landscape of our breakup was not an easy journey. I sought comfort in my close friends and family, those steadfast allies who had been my support system throughout our relationship. They had seen the ebbs and flows of my emotional state, often sensing the underlying tension that had been building between Samantha and me. Over cups of coffee and long discussions, they encouraged me to focus on my own needs and happiness, emphasizing that it was time for me to prioritize myself. Their unwavering support reminded me that I was not alone in this journey, that I was surrounded by people who cared deeply for my well-being. During this time, I decided to take a step back from romantic pursuits, giving myself the space I needed to heal. I wanted to focus on rediscovering who I was outside of a relationship, to reconnect with my passions and interests that had taken a back seat during my time with Samantha. I felt a yearning to reclaim my individuality, to embrace the aspects of myself that had been overshadowed by our dynamic. This process of self-discovery became crucial as I navigated the uncharted waters of life post-breakup. As I worked through the legal aspects of our situation, I sought out alimony and damages that I felt were justified given the sacrifices I had made during our time together. The process of navigating the legal system was daunting, filled with long meetings, documentation, and negotiations. Each session served as a reminder of the commitment I had made to myself, to reclaim my life and assert my needs. It was not just about the financial compensation, it was about recognizing the emotional toll our relationship had taken on me and ensuring that my voice was heard in the aftermath. While I was dealing with my own emotional upheaval, I learned that Samantha was struggling in her own right. Reports indicated that she had accrued a significant amount of debt, forcing her to abandon her dreams of attending medical school. It was disheartening to hear about her predicament. Even though I had chosen to cut ties, a part of me still cared for her well-being. I understood how crushing financial burdens could be, and I couldn't help but feel a pang of sympathy for her situation. Samantha's struggles served as a stark reminder of how life can take unexpected turns. It was a lesson in the fragility of dreams and the importance of resilience. I hoped that this challenging period would serve as a catalyst for her growth, pushing her to confront her circumstances with determination and strength. It was my sincere wish that she would find the ability to rise above her difficulties, learning to navigate life's challenges independently. I wanted her to discover her own potential, to harness her abilities and strive toward her goals, even if it meant taking a detour from her original plans. The weight of our shared history lingered heavily in my mind, like an anchor pulling me back into the depths of emotions I was trying to rise above. I often found myself reminiscing about the good times we had shared, the laughter, the inside jokes, the dreams we once had. It was hard to let go of those memories, as they were intertwined with my own growth and experiences. However, I understood that clinging to them would only prolong my pain. As I reflected on our relationship, I came to the realization that we had both changed, evolving into different people with different aspirations and desires. Accepting this reality was a necessary step in my healing process, a step that would allow me to move forward with a clearer perspective. Meanwhile, the fallout from Bart's actions continued to unfold, drawing my attention further into the web of emotional complexity surrounding our circle of friends. It had come to my attention that he had faced severe consequences after Bailey exposed his infidelity. Not only did he lose his job, but he also found himself ostracized from the industry he had once thrived in. This was a significant turn of events, and it forced me to reflect on the complexities of relationships and the unpredictable nature of life. Bart had always presented himself as confident and successful, but the truth had a way of unraveling facades, revealing the vulnerabilities that often lie beneath the surface. Hearing about Bart's downfall stirred mixed feelings within me. On one hand, I felt a sense of justice. On the other, I grappled with the moral implications of reveling in another person's misfortune. His betrayal had caused pain to many, including me, and yet I also recognized that everyone's capable of making mistakes. I found myself in a moral quandary. Was it right to feel satisfaction in his suffering, or should I extend empathy towards someone who had caused so much hurt? As I navigated my emotions, I reminded myself that it was important to remain grounded in my values. I sought to find a balance between acknowledging the pain he had caused while also recognizing the complexities of human nature. I wanted to remain open to the lessons life had to offer, allowing each challenge to shape me into a stronger, more compassionate individual. I understood that empathy was not only a gift I could give to others, but also a gift I could give myself in order to foster my own growth and healing. Reports indicated that Bart had become homeless, and this news shocked me to my core. It felt like a grim culmination of his choices, a harsh reminder that every action has consequences. As I processed this information, I couldn't help but feel conflicted. While I didn't wish ill on him, the reality of his situation evoked a complicated blend of pity and vindication. It was hard to reconcile the idea that someone who had wronged so many was now facing such dire circumstances. I wanted to approach his situation with compassion, but the weight of the betrayal made that a challenging task. Bailey, on the other hand, seemed to find solace in her successful revenge against Bart. She had every right to seek closure after the pain he had inflicted on her, but I could only imagine how empowering it must have felt to watch him face the consequences of his actions. Yet I couldn't shake the feeling that revenge, while temporarily gratifying, often comes with its own set of burdens. I wondered if Bailey would ultimately find peace in her choices, or if the satisfaction would fade over time, leaving her grappling with the emotional aftermath of her decisions. I wanted to reach out to her to see how she was coping with everything, but I also understood that she needed her space. As I contemplated these matters, I realized that navigating relationships often required a delicate balance of empathy, self-protection, and growth. Each person's journey is unique, and while we may not always understand the choices others make, we can learn from our own experiences. I wanted to remain open to the lessons life had to offer, allowing each challenge to shape me into a stronger, more compassionate individual. It became clear to me that my journey toward healing and self-discovery was intertwined with the experiences of those around me, creating a complex tapestry of growth and understanding. During this tumultuous period, I found myself rediscovering the beauty of solitude. There was something empowering about spending time alone, allowing myself the space to reflect on my emotions and thoughts. I began to appreciate the quiet moments, the stillness that came with solitude. I turned off my phone and stepped away from social media, seeking refuge in the simplicity of being present in my own life. I prioritized self-care, engaging in activities that brought me joy and fulfillment. In the midst of this newfound solitude, I discovered the joy of journaling. Writing became a therapeutic outlet for me, allowing me to process my emotions and reflect on my experiences. I poured my heart onto the pages, documenting my thoughts, fears, hopes, and dreams. Each entry was a step toward understanding myself better, a way to untangle the knots of confusion that had formed during my relationship with Samantha. I found comfort in the act of putting pen to paper, as it offered me a sense of clarity and purpose. Through journaling, I began to explore my aspirations, reevaluating what truly mattered to me. I set goals for myself, small, manageable ones that felt attainable yet fulfilling. I started to cultivate a vision for my future, one that was rooted in authenticity and self-discovery. I recognized that the journey ahead would not be without its challenges, but I felt a renewed sense of determination to embrace the possibilities that lay before me. As I ventured further into this journey of self-exploration, I made a conscious effort to step outside of my comfort zone. I sought new experiences, immersed myself in activities that ignited my passion and creativity. I joined local clubs, enrolled in classes, and even volunteered for community projects. Each new endeavor presented an opportunity for connection and growth, a chance to engage with others who shared my interests and values. I found joy in these interactions, creating new friendships that provided a support system as I navigated this transformative period in my life. Amidst all these changes, I was continuously reminded of the importance of living authentically. I wanted to be true to myself, to honor my values and beliefs as I forged ahead. I realized that authenticity is not just about being true to oneself. It also involves embracing vulnerability and allowing oneself to be seen by others. I began to shed the fear of judgment and opened myself up to the possibility of genuine connections with those around me. I sought relationships that felt nurturing and supportive, ones that encouraged mutual growth and understanding. As I reflected on my past, I recognized that every moment of joy, pain, and heartbreak had shaped me into the person I was becoming. I had learned that growth often emerges from the ashes of difficult experiences, and it was crucial to embrace both the light and the shadows of my journey. Each lesson that I learned added depth to my understanding of love, relationships, and self-worth. The relationship with Samantha had taught me valuable lessons about boundaries and self-care. It had shown me the importance of recognizing when to let go, even when it feels painful. I learned that it's okay to prioritize oneself and to walk away from situations that no longer serve one's growth. While the end of our relationship was undoubtedly challenging, it also marked the beginning of a new chapter in my life, one filled with potential and opportunity. In this pursuit of self-fulfillment, I was determined to cultivate a life filled with passion, creativity, and meaningful connections. I wanted to forge a path that aligned with my true self, one that resonated with my values and desires. I held on to the belief that every experience, good or bad, contributes to my growth, shaping me into a more resilient and compassionate individual. As I embarked on this new chapter, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. I was excited to see how my journey unfolded, eager to embrace the challenges and joys that lay ahead. I recognized that life is a continuous cycle of growth and transformation, and I was ready to navigate it with an open heart and adventurous spirit. The world was vast and filled with possibilities, and I intended to seize every opportunity that came my way. I envisioned a future where I could continue evolving, becoming the best version of myself, one step at a time. I wanted to celebrate my victories, both big and small, and honor the journey that had led me to this point. I sought to embrace the complexities of life, welcoming both the joys and challenges that would undoubtedly arise along the way. As the months passed, I remained committed to my personal growth. I surrounded myself with individuals who uplifted and inspired me, fostering relationships that were rooted in respect and mutual support. Together we navigated the intricacies of life, sharing our dreams and aspirations as we encouraged one another to chase after them. I began to explore new avenues of creativity, embracing the artistic expressions that had always resided within me. Whether it was painting, writing, or photography, I found joy in capturing the beauty of life and channeling my emotions into creative endeavors. This newfound passion became an essential part of my identity, allowing me to connect with myself on a deeper level. In this session of self-discovery, I also took time to nurture my physical health. I started exercising regularly, engaging in activities that invigorated my body and mind. Whether it was hiking, dancing, or practicing yoga, each movement became a celebration of life and vitality. I felt in tune with myself, embracing the energy and strength that resided within me. I have some exciting news! I'm getting married! And guess what? Do you want to know who it is? Should I tell you? Oh wow, that's great! I'm really happy for you. Congratulations on your engagement. Thanks! So my fiance is actually the son of a company president. Can you believe it? It feels like my life is going perfectly. Honestly, just being born with a decent face already makes me a winner, don't you think? I graduated from university with my sister and got a good job. And now I am marrying a rich and successful guy. Yeah, that sounds really nice. I'm glad to hear that everything's going well for you. Right? My life is seriously on a roll. I just recently quit my job in anticipation of my marriage. When I showed everyone pictures of my fiance, the president's son, they were all super jealous. It's hilarious, really. Some of my friends from my 30s were so envious. It was funny. I mean, obviously, our backgrounds are just so different. You are really putting yourself out there, aren't you? It's one thing to say this to me, but maybe you should tone it down a bit when you're outside. What? Of course not. You think I'm going to pretend to be humble? I'm actually quite good at navigating life, you know. I can see that, but just be careful. If you keep making enemies, it could come back to haunt you later. Oh, please. It's not like you who seems to struggle in life. I'm leading a life that's completely opposite of yours, where you had a child young and ended up alone. I haven't had to deal with any hardships at all. Well, that kind of life doesn't necessarily last forever. Especially now that you're getting married, your actions will impact your partner too. It's important to be responsible for what you say and do. Coming from someone who divorced a loser, that doesn't have much weight, does it? I mean, the way people get divorced so easily these days is ridiculous. You should think about the kids. That's something I have always thought about. And honestly, the kid that you had seems a bit slow. Plus, the kid's not exactly a looker either, so it's kind of sad. Gabby, that is way too much. You can say whatever you want about me, but leave my child out of it. Oh, look who's acting all high and mighty now. But seriously, don't you feel sorry for that kid? Having a single mother who dropped out of school, that is something to be ashamed of forever. I would definitely feel inferior about that. You can think however you want, but don't present your values as if they're universal truths or the only right way to live. Everyone carries their own burdens as they navigate life. Your reckless words will eventually come back to bite you. You should really stop acting like a child, spouting whatever comes to mind without thinking. That's hilarious. A single mother without a diploma is preaching to me now? I can't imagine how frustrating it must be for a child to have a mother like that. I'm going to make sure I never turn out like you. Do whatever you want. Oh, by the way, I'm bringing my fiance over to meet my family soon. He wants to greet our parents, so it's happening. You and your kid better be there too, just to show face. We're technically family now, right? Though once I get married, I'll probably cut ties anyway. Wow, do you really have to say all that? Well, that's just how it is. Just promise me you won't show up looking like a mess, okay? Yeah. Are you still not here? I'm already here, you know. Can you hurry up? Yeah, sorry, I'm on my way, so please wait a bit. There was a train delay because of an accident. Huh? Are you kidding me? That's such a pathetic excuse. You should have anticipated that and left earlier. I did leave early, but this happened. I'll figure out a way to get there, so please wait. Oh, this is the worst. As if it's not bad enough that I have to introduce my low-spec sister. Now you're going to be late, too? You're really failing as a person, you know. I said I'm sorry. Whatever, I already told my fiance that you're just my servant. Huh? What do you mean by that? Do you think I'd hang around with someone like you otherwise? You're a single mom who dropped out of high school. You're just a disgrace to the family. I told my fiance he could treat you however he wants, like a servant. Wow, if someone introduced me like that, I'd be completely disgusted by them. But whatever, I just got a taxi, so I'll be there soon. I've arrived, but where are you? What are you doing, leaving your fiancé behind? Oh, you got there? Well, that was faster than I expected. I just had some free time, so I went to the convenience store. By the way, did you meet my fiancé? Yeah, I met him. Is he treating you like a servant? You know, introducing yourself as a high school dropout and a clueless single mom.
You better kneel and apologize to her right now.
Huh? What do you mean by her? And honestly, I can't even keep up with how nonsensical this conversation is. Your logic is a bit lacking, you know, huh?
Gabby, what are you talking about? Miley, your sister, is our company's advisor and a super high-ranking executive. She's an impressive person.
Wait, are you talking about Bradley? Why is he contacting me through Miley's phone?
You introduced me as a servant, and I've been looking down on you, so I asked him what was up, and he showed me this message. I'm just devastated to learn your true nature.
Wait a minute, I'm completely lost here. You and Miley know each other?
Know each other? It's more than that. She's someone who's really helped me. I never expected to run into her like this. She's not someone you can look down on just because she's a high school dropout and a single mom. She's worked hard and achieved a lot.
Oh, is that so? I didn't know she was actually doing well in her job. And please stop treating me like the villain here. It's a fact that I became a single mother and dropped out of school.
You don't understand at all the challenges of making a living as a single mother, which is why you can say such things. Anyway, apologize to Miley. We'll talk about everything else afterward.
No way! Why should I apologize? Being a high school dropout and a single mom is entirely my responsibility and my own fault. It's her fault for choosing a life that makes you look down on yourself.
Well, now I understand. Gabby, I've lost respect for you. The engagement is off.
What? That's a bit over the top, don't you think? Wait, why? I didn't think you could be this cruel and mean. You're really a piece of work. Oh, and it's Miley, by the way. I got my phone back. He says he's leaving now. Wait, don't just take the conversation into your own hands. Are you kidding me? Don't let him go. Well, it's not happening. He seems utterly defeated now and has realized that you are someone he cannot communicate with. I don't think he has any intention of trying again. When your values are this different on something so significant, it's impossible to talk about marriage, right? Why? I haven't said anything wrong. How did we end up like this? The fact that you think you haven't said anything wrong is where it ends. Your values and his are too different. You probably tried hard to keep this facade up until now, but after exposing your true self to this extent, there's just no way. This is your fault. If you hadn't meddled, he wouldn't be angry. I get it that you don't want me to be happy in my perfect life, but please don't ruin my life. What are you talking about? If anyone is interrupting your life, it's definitely you. I'm not hindering your life at all. You forgot that you were the one who interrupted mine? I'm not to blame. You're talking about your ex-husband, aren't you? I told you before, it's his fault. He wanted to have a relationship with me because I'm prettier than you. Can you not blame everything on me? You're the one who chose him. Well, I think that myself. That's why I haven't blamed you too much until now. I just can't comprehend how someone would even think about going after their sister's fiance. It became clear that you lack common sense, and it's pointless to keep talking about things that are in the past. I can't accept that you're doing this to me. You need to fix Bradley's misunderstanding. Take responsibility. Misunderstanding? What do you mean? You're definitely making it seem like it's all my fault. I'm not that bad of a person. I've been trying my best to live my life. No, you come off as pretty terrible to me, and I'm sure Bradley sees you the same way. You seem like someone who's always relied on your privileged background and who's lived without any knowledge of real hardship. It's painfully obvious. What did you just say? Didn't you hear? I told you that being a single mother and making a living is hard work. I don't understand how you can't grasp that, especially since you're her sister and yet he can. Well, it makes sense because his father runs a business that provides services for single mothers. Now that you mention it, I think I remember hearing something about that. See? That's why I warned you that your recklessness would eventually lead to your downfall. Look where we are now. It's turned out just as I predicted. That's why I told you to be careful. This is ridiculous. I'm already engaged and set to leave my job. I can't believe he's calling off the engagement. Well, that's between the two of you. I won't get involved, but honestly, he's too good for you. You two are just not a good match. Shut up! I am getting married! If you're not going to help, then stay out of my life! I mean it, I'm cutting ties with you for good. All right, fine. To be honest, that works better for me too. Let's do that.
Miley, I'm truly sorry for showing you such an unpleasant side. No, I mean, I'm really sorry for dragging you into our issues. I never imagined it would turn out this way. I apologize for the trouble.
No, I should be the one apologizing. My sister was the one causing you trouble. You must have been so shocked.
Yes, honestly, I was so shocked I could hardly believe it. But after Miley showed me the messages, I had no choice but to believe it. I'm really grateful that I learned the truth about her before we got married.
I agree. I was also relieved that I happened to meet you at the time when Gabby wasn't around. If she'd been here, you probably would have witnessed an ugly argument between sisters, which would have been unpleasant for everyone involved. And it's just a shame that you came all this way to formally meet with the family to announce the engagement.
Oh, no, not at all. Honestly, if I had seen any kind of argument between you two, I probably would have been even more certain about my decision to end things with her. I'm grateful I could talk to you like this without her around.
I'm glad to hear you say that, but I can't help feeling somewhat responsible for getting in the way of your engagement like this. It's just a little hard to ignore that the two of you were so close to getting married, and I feel somewhat responsible for ruining that.
No, really, you don't have to feel that way. Actually, truth be told, I already had some doubts about marrying her. It's a bit of a separate issue, but now that I've seen her true nature, I realize it's better that I learned this now than later.
Oh, wait a moment. You were feeling betrayed?
Yeah. When I found out what she really thought about people around her, including her own sister, I started piecing things together. The way she talked about her own family, her own sibling with such disrespect. It made me question if that's how she would one day talk about me, too. She seemed to have no empathy or care, and her attitude was just so cold-hearted. I've been in relationships before, but I've never experienced this kind of malice, I guess.
I understand. Gabby's always had her strong opinions, but it's shocking to hear how far she's gone. You're absolutely right to take it seriously. No one should have to put up with such behavior, and I'm sorry you even had to experience it in the first place.
Hearing you say that makes me feel reassured. I feel like I've made the right choice. Your support means a lot. I feel like I'm finally seeing things clearly.
You're very kind. I'm sorry things turned out this way, but sometimes these challenges can be blessings in disguise. It takes strength to see what's real and make the right choices. If I can help in any way, don't hesitate to reach out.
I really appreciate it, Miley. Knowing someone like you was part of her family was what kept me hopeful for so long. I'm sorry things turned out this way, but honestly, I feel a lot lighter. Thank you for being so understanding.
You're welcome. I hope everything works out for the best for you, Bradley. Why am I being thrown out of the house? I just came home to find my stuff tossed out, and then I was told to get out. And apparently they even got your approval for this? What the hell does that mean? It's exactly what it sounds like. They have my full agreement because, well, this house, the one you're staying in, it's actually under my name. What? Are you serious? I thought Mom and Dad bought it with their pension money. Nope, they didn't. I bought this house back when my child was still little, and they were there to help me get through a lot. So I decided to return the favor by buying the place. You were the one who just decided to make it your home. So that's why they're kicking me out? But why now? You know, I'm already dealing with the heartbreak of my engagement falling apart. Couldn't you cut me some slack? Oh, I know about the engagement. I told them everything, actually. I explained how you've been spoiled and coddled far too much and that it's become an issue that just keeps repeating itself. What do you mean by repeating itself? What are you talking about? Oh, you know very well what I mean. You were engaged to Bradley, yet here you are, sneaking around with another guy. You think no one noticed? Wait, what are you talking about? What proof do you even have? Don't try to play dumb. I saw all the evidence. Bradley showed me himself. I feel so sorry for him, Gabby. Here he was, thinking he had a future with you. You couldn't have been more careless. Why? Why would Bradley even know about any of this? Honestly, you can't fool someone with a sharp mind. There are people who can see through this kind of thing. And I'd say after dealing with your behavior over the years, my instincts have become pretty sharp too. So tell me, on the day you went to the convenience store, weren't you just trying to sneak in some time to chat with that other guy? Well, but so what? That's none of your business, Miley. Whatever's going on with Bradley and me doesn't concern you. Oh, trust me, I know it doesn't directly concern me. Then why bring it up? Because I'm done with this nonsense. I've explained everything to Mom and Dad so they'd understand why it's time to take back control of my house. No more freeloaders here. You can't be serious. You went and told them all of this? Of course I did. See, you may not care since you're the one doing the damage, but the people on the other end of your recklessness, the ones who get hurt, we have every right to speak up. I know that because of you. I ended up divorcing my own husband. And then, even after that, you go and pull the same thing with another guy, causing more hurt. So, yes, I had no choice but to set things straight with our parents. Are you kidding me? I told you this has nothing to do with you. Why would you meddle like that? Do you have any idea how hard things are for me right now? I'm still trying to find a job. Oh, aren't you supposed to be this elite who graduated college? Finding work should not be an issue for you, right? Isn't that what you always claim? Sure, I might find something eventually, but honestly, I doubt you will. With that inflated sense of worth, you're bound to be picky about jobs. But here's the catch. You've quit every job you've had almost as soon as you've started. So how are you supposed to convince anyone to take you on? Employers aren't lining up to hire people like that. Stop it! I don't need you to rub it in. I already know that much. Well, get ready because Bradley told me he's planning to sue for damages. So I hope you're prepared to face the consequences of your own choices. What? Sue me? For what? You two were engaged, right? He has every right to seek damages. This is your reality now, so buckle up. No, wait, no way! I don't have that kind of money! I don't even have a place to live now! Miley, come on, please say something to him! I'll apologize for everything, just let me come back home! No, you think I'm your servant? Helping you out after everything you've done would make me nothing more than your personal doormat. I gave you plenty of chances to get your act together, Gabby. But it's clear that none of it ever meant anything to you. Please, Miley, I'm begging you, help me out here. Oh, wasn't it you who once told me we live opposite lives, that you were the successful one? Looks like it's true in a way. Now you're getting a real taste of rock bottom. Enjoy. Gabby's constant messages had become quite overwhelming, to the point where I decided to simply block her number. It wasn't an easy choice, but it felt necessary for my peace of mind. I needed some space from the incessant notifications that disrupted my day-to-day life. Gabby became the type of person who often couldn't take a hint, had a knack for overwhelming anyone with her communication, especially when things didn't go her way. The relentless barrage of texts, calls, and messages had finally pushed me over the edge. In her attempt to reach out, I learned that she had been trying to get in touch with Bradley, my friend, with the hope of apologizing to him for her behavior. It's not unusual for someone like Gabby to seek out others to mediate her conflicts, thinking that if she can just get the right person to understand her side, everything would miraculously resolve itself. However, this time things had escalated beyond mere apologies and conversations. Bradley's known for being a kind-hearted individual, always willing to lend an ear or offer support when needed. His warm demeanor makes him approachable, and many people, including Gabby, often feel comfortable confiding in him. Despite his gentle nature, there exists a more pragmatic and cold side to him when it comes to serious issues. And this situation with Gabby was no exception. After enduring her disruptive behavior for far too long, he had reached his breaking point too. I found out that he had made the difficult decision to consider taking legal action against Gabby. This was significant because Bradley typically avoided confrontation and rarely resorted to such extreme measures. The fact that he felt pushed to this extent showed how serious the situation had become. I knew that he had always been patient with Gabby, having tried numerous times to advise her on her behavior and how it impacted those around her, but it seems that despite his best efforts, Gabby was incapable of understanding the consequences of her actions. In the past, he had spoken to her, expressing his concerns and encouraging her to change her ways, but it felt like talking to a brick wall. Each conversation would end with promises from Gabby that she would do better, that she would make changes, but ultimately, those were just empty words. Time and again, he tried to guide her, offering constructive feedback, but Gabby would often brush it off or become defensive, insisting that she was fine just the way she was. As I reflected on the situation, it struck me that with people like Gabby, sometimes they need to hit rock bottom before they can truly comprehend the impact of their behavior. I thought about how difficult it must be for someone who has been coddled or shielded from the harsh realities of life to understand what it means to face consequences. Gabby, in her own little world, often seemed detached from the struggles and emotions of those around her. This lack of awareness isn't unique to her. It's something I've noticed in people who have never had to deal with the repercussions of their actions. They often live in a bubble, believing that they can act however they wish without facing the fallout. This is especially true for Gabby, who has often been treated with kid gloves by those around her, including her family and friends. The constant support and validation she received allowed her to continue her behavior without realizing how it affected others. Bradley's been a voice of reason for her, but now it seemed like even he had reached his limits. The kind-heartedness he usually exhibited had turned into a steely resolve. His decisions to consider legal action was not taken lightly. It was a last resort, an indication that he could no longer tolerate the chaos she brought into his life. I wondered what it would take for Gabby to finally understand the seriousness of her actions and the pain they caused others. It was painful to watch, knowing that despite Bradley's best intentions, Gabby might not learn her lessons until it was too late. I felt a mix of sympathy for both of them. For Bradley, I understood the frustration of trying to help someone who doesn't see the need for help. For Gabby, I felt pity because she was on a path that could lead to significant isolation if she didn't change her ways. I knew deep down that if she continued down this road, she would find herself alone, without the support of those who once cared for her. As I pondered the situation further, I considered the dynamics of their relationship. It was complex, to say the least. Bradley had always been the patient one, willing to listen to Gabby's woes and provide comfort when she was upset. However, Gabby had become increasingly demanding over time, relying on him as her emotional crutch, without reciprocating the same level of care. It's a dynamic that often occurs in relationships where one party feels entitled to the support of another without realizing the toll it takes. In my conversations with Bradley, he had expressed his exasperation with Gabby's inability to appreciate his kindness. He felt like he was giving and giving, but in return he received nothing but more demands for attention and understanding. I could see how this had begun to wear him down, leading to his decision to take a stand against her. Even as I contemplated all of this, I couldn't help but think about the moments that defined their interactions. There had been times when Gabby was genuinely sweet and caring, but those instances seemed few and far between compared to her more demanding and inconsiderate behavior. I wondered if she was capable of change or if she would continue to spiral further into her self-centered ways. Bradley had tried to remain hopeful throughout their friendship, believing that there was a part of Gabby that could recognize her shortcomings and make an effort to improve. He would often recount moments where she showed potential for growth, moments where she demonstrated empathy or kindness to others. But those instances were always overshadowed by her more manipulative and attention-seeking tendencies. It was as if every step forward was followed by 2 steps back, and it left Bradley feeling exhausted and defeated. Ultimately, it was a difficult lesson for both Bradley and Gabby. For Bradley, the lesson was about setting boundaries and knowing when to say enough is enough. For Gabby, it was a harsh awakening that her actions had consequences and that she couldn't always rely on others to pick up the pieces for her. The road ahead would be challenging, and it would require both of them to confront the truth about their relationship and their respective roles within it. As I continued to reflect on their dynamic, I couldn't shake the feeling of sadness for what might be lost. There was a time when Bradley and Gabby shared a bond that was genuine, filled with laughter and support. But now that bond was strained to the breaking point, and I feared that the damage done could be irreparable. It was painful to see two people who once cared for each other reaching the point of no return. In the days that followed, I kept in touch with Bradley, hoping to provide him with the support he needed during this tumultuous time. I could sense the weight of the decision he faced pressing down on him. He was caught between his natural inclination to help others with the realization that he had prioritized his own well-being. It's a conflict many people experience when they care deeply for someone who continuously drains their emotional resources. Bradley began to open up more about his feelings, and I listened carefully as he navigated the complexities of the situation. He expressed his disappointment not only in Gabby, but also in himself for allowing things to get this far. He wondered how he had managed to get to a point where he felt he had no other option but to consider legal action. The guilt weighed heavily on him, even though I assured him that he had done everything he could to help her. I encouraged him to reflect on his own needs and to recognize that it was okay to prioritize his mental health. After all, he couldn't pour from an empty cup. I reminded him that his feelings were valid and he had every right to protect himself from emotional turmoil. It was a long and difficult conversation, but I hoped it would provide him with some clarity as he continued to grapple with his decision. Meanwhile, I also thought about Gabby and the path she was on. I couldn't help but feel a sense of foreboding for her future. She was caught in a cycle of behavior that seemed to lead only to isolation and regret. I wondered if there would ever come a time that she would reflect on her actions and see the damage she had done to her relationships. It was troubling to think that she might continue to live her life oblivious to the chaos she caused. There was a part of me that hoped she would eventually reach out for help, that she would realize the importance of self-awareness and change. Perhaps hitting rock bottom could serve as the catalyst for her transformation. But I also knew that change had to come from within, so no amount of external pressure could force someone to grow if they weren't ready to do so. As I considered the broader implications of this situation, I reflected on how often we encounter people like Gabby in our lives. Individuals who struggle to take responsibility for their actions, who navigate life without considering the impact they have on those around them. It's a harsh reality that many of us must face, and it can be incredibly disheartening to watch someone spiral downward, seemingly oblivious to the consequences of their behavior. The situation with Gabby and Bradley served as a reminder of the importance of boundaries in relationships. It highlighted the necessity of recognizing when someone's behavior becomes detrimental and knowing when to take a step back for the sake of one's own well-being. Sometimes love and friendship aren't enough to sustain a relationship. Sometimes tough love is required to bring about change. As I continued to support Bradley, I hoped he would find the strength to follow through with his decision, whatever that might be. Whether he ultimately chose to pursue legal action or find another way to address the situation, I wanted him to feel empowered in his choice. It was important for him to understand that he had agency over his own life, that he didn't have to tolerate behavior that was harmful to him. In the end, I hoped that both Bradley and Gabby would learn valuable lessons from this experience. Whether they realized it or not, for Bradley it was an opportunity to assert himself and prioritize his needs. For Gabby, it could be a wake-up call, a chance to reflect on her behavior and consider the changes necessary for her to build healthier relationships moving forward. Life often presents us with challenges that test our resilience and force us to confront uncomfortable truths. The situation was no different. I knew that whatever the outcome, both of them would be forever changed by the experience. It was a bittersweet realization, but it also gave me hope. Because sometimes, through the struggles and heartaches, we find the strength to grow, to evolve, and to become better versions of ourselves.
Well, my boss invited me, so I'll be going on another resort trip this weekend. It's just for business, but still, spending my days off with my boss? Seriously, it's such a drag.
What? Again? Isn't that a bit too much? You've been going away all the time these last few months, haven't you? Don't you think it's about time you took a break? I mean, even if it's a resort trip.
I guess so, but it's not like I dislike going to a resort. I don't mind it, and since it's for work, there's no point in complaining about it, right?
True, but still, it feels like we hardly have any time together as a couple. And remember, we had plans to visit my parents this weekend. You said you'd come with me.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's not like I'm choosing this over you. I have work commitments too, you know? You can go to your parents' house by yourself. Even if I go, it would just be for show. The kids will be happy just to see my face for a bit.
I get that it might seem trivial to you, but don't you think the kids would want to spend some time with their dad? And honestly, going back home with the kids alone is no walk in the park for me. You've never had to take care of them on your own, so you wouldn't understand.
Come on, saying you have a hard time with the kids when you can have such adorable children all to yourself is really a spoiled complaint, don't you think?
If you think it's just about how cute the kids are, then that proves you're not really involved in raising them. It's not just about them being cute. There are plenty of challenges that come with it, too.
If the kids heard you say that, they'd be so upset. Seriously, you sound like a pretty terrible mother.
If you think you can handle it better, then why don't you try doing it yourself? Stop enjoying your trips with your boss and take the kids on a trip by yourself at least once. Or even just stay home and take care of them alone for a bit. Trust me, you'll regret saying that.
Excuse me? What are you talking about? You have no idea how difficult it is to travel with my boss. That's why you can say such things. I'm not going on trips with my friends. It's all really stressful.
I used to go on those kinds of trips before we had kids too, you know. But ever since the kids were born, it's always been me taking care of them because you can't handle it alone, right? Realistically speaking, traveling with my boss just isn't something I can do without your support. So tell me, if I said, hey, I'm going on another 2-night resort trip with my boss, so can you take care of the kids? Would you really do that? Because I'm juggling work, house chores, and parenting over here. It's not easy for me.
You're so annoying. It's because you always act like you're so put upon that I don't want to help. If you just keep your mouth shut, I might actually want to help out. It's the way you say things that makes me want to back off.
First of all, what do you mean by helping? Parenting is something we should do together, especially since both of us work. Do you think it's normal for me to be the one solely responsible for the kids just because I'm a woman? You're not just here to help. You should be taking an active role. The very idea that I have to ask for help is what's wrong here.
Oh, you're so damn annoying. If you have complaints, go home to your parents and tell them. Anyways, I have to work with my boss this weekend. I'm not coming home, so don't bother contacting me.
This conversation is going nowhere. Hey, answer your phone. This is an emergency. I just rushed to leave you a voicemail. Why haven't you responded at all? Right now, all of our family members are rushing to the hospital and we need you here too. You have to come as soon as you see this message. It's really serious. We're all very worried and it's important that you get here as quickly as possible. The situation is critical and we don't know what's going to happen. It's really dangerous and the last thing we need is for anyone to delay in getting here. The kids are with me, so just come straight to the hospital without stopping at home. We'll be waiting for you here, and I know it's a lot to ask, but it's important that we're all together right now. Please understand how urgent this is. I wouldn't be calling you like this if it weren't a serious situation. I really need your support right now, and the kids need their dad too. They're scared, and we all want to be there for each other during this tough time. It's moments like this that remind us of how important family is, and we can't do this without you. So please, as soon as you get this message, drop everything and head over to the hospital. We're all really counting on you to be here with us. I can't stress enough how crucial it is that you come. I'll keep you updated on what's happening as soon as I can, but right now just focus on getting here. We need to stick together as a family in times like this. Please hurry.
I'm so tired. Traveling with my boss is exhausting. And what's with this mountain of messages? I got your voicemail and it sounded so dramatic. You were like, "Your mother is in critical condition. Come to the hospital immediately." It felt like something straight out of a drama series. By the way, where have you been? Today was supposed to be the day you were coming home, and yet there's no food prepared at home?
Oh, you finally returned. Well, I'm at my parents' place letting the kids rest. Honestly, I'm surprised you managed to come back from your trip considering the situation.
And about your mom being in critical condition? I really don't care. You were just on vacation, weren't you? Are you still lounging around at your parents' house? Lucky you. So what's going on with the old lady? Not that it has anything to do with me.
We just finished my mother-in-law's funeral. We're currently gathered here to talk things over.
Wait, what? Your mother-in-law? Hold on a second. Are you saying that your mother-in-law is actually my mother?
Yes, that's right. Didn't your dad call you? He mentioned he left you a message, too.
Huh? My dad did send me a message saying to come home right away and go to the hospital, but...
So you were blocking your communications from your relatives? That explains why I hadn't heard anything. I guess you were too busy worrying about how to manage your trip with your boss, huh?
Well, of course. I'd find it annoying if I were getting all these bothersome messages from my family while I'm with my boss. Wait a second, are you seriously telling me that it's my mother?
I've been telling you that. We've been extremely busy with the funeral arrangements. I tried to contact you so you could see her one last time, but instead, you decided to ignore all the messages and just enjoy your vacation, only to come back now. Honestly, even your family is at a loss for words about it.
I know, but I didn't think something like this would happen.
But your mom had been suffering from heart issues for a long time, right? It was bound to get worse. When I got the call saying she had taken a turn for the worse and was in critical condition, you should have come right away. If you had, you could have seen her one last time.
I can't believe this happened! Mom!
I'll be heading back home with the kids once everything settles down here, so you're an adult, just take care of yourself for now. You had no idea how hard it's been trying to juggle everything. While you were off enjoying your trip, I was dealing with the kids and the situation here. I can't believe you didn't think to check your messages and respond sooner.
I didn't think it would turn out like this! I thought we had more time!
You really should have been more aware. It's not just about your vacation. You have responsibilities and family to think about. The least you could do is check in, especially when things are serious. You may be relaxed right now, but the reality is that life doesn't stop for anyone.
I get that, okay? I really do, but sometimes I just need a break from all of this.
I understand needing a break, but there's a time and a place for everything. When family is involved, especially with such grave matters, you can't just ignore it. I wish you'd been here to support me and the kids when it mattered.
You're right. I should have been more considerate. I just didn't think it would escalate this quickly.
Now it's too late. I hope you realize how important family is and how vital it is to be present during tough times. You can't just turn your back on your responsibilities.
I promise I'll do better next time. I just hope it won't be under these circumstances again.
It's not about making promises now. It's about learning from this experience. Family means being there for each other, no matter the situation. So please try to remember that. Thanks for waiting, Mary. I'm all set over here. Kaylin, thank you so much. You got here much faster than I expected. This really helps me out. Right? I mean, this is a big deal for you, so of course I'm going to move quickly to help. But I really can't believe that guy. He's unbelievable. I appreciate it. I truly do. At first I was completely overwhelmed and didn't know what to think. But now everything is starting to connect, you know? It feels like I can finally make sense of it all. Yeah, I get that. I was hesitant about whether or not to tell you at first too, but I really want you to find happiness. You've been doing so much on your own with the kids. It's a relief that it finally turned out this way. Kaylin, I can't thank you enough for everything. Oh, it's nothing, really, but seriously, the world feels small sometimes, doesn't it? So, are you prepared for what's coming next? Are you really going to follow through and put an end to this? Absolutely! I know that this is the best outcome for me. I see. Well, that's great. Then let's stick to the plan and go for it. I'm honestly looking forward to this. I can hardly contain my excitement. It's like all the pieces are finally falling into place and I'm ready to take action. I've been waiting for the right moment to make my move, and now that I have your support, I feel much more confident. Knowing that I have someone like you in my corner makes all the difference. You know how much I've struggled with this situation, and just thinking about finally putting it behind me fills me with hope. I can't wait to reclaim my life and start fresh without all this baggage holding me back. This is going to be a turning point for me, and I'm ready to embrace whatever comes next. Let's do this together and make it happen. I've got your back just like you've got mine through this entire process. So let's get everything organized and take the first step. I'm ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead with newfound determination.
By the way, I've got another golf trip with my boss next weekend. I was sleeping when you came back yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to talk to you.
Wait, what? Again? How can you even think about going on another trip after everything that's happened? Your mother is in such a serious condition because you were away on vacation. Don't you think it's time to take a break from all this traveling?
I do think about it, but what can I do? It's a work obligation, and I have no choice but to go. Plus, especially in times like this, I want to forget everything for a while and just have some fun. And you shouldn't be complaining about things at a time like this.
You did tell your boss about your mother's situation, right? He's still inviting you despite everything? That says a lot about him, too.
Huh? What do you know about my boss? It's fine if you want to criticize me, but don't speak ill of my boss.
What are you talking about? You've told him you had kids, right? If he knows you have a wife and children, he's still inviting you out. That's just disrespectful.
Shut up! We've got our own circumstances here. I'm in a good position with my boss, so there's nothing I can do about it.
That makes it even worse. Can't you just tell him that your wife is upset? Were you in such a position that you couldn't say that?
Talking to you is pointless. Seriously, you're such a difficult person to deal with. It's like you've completely changed since you got married and had kids.
I think you're the one who changed me. Don't you realize it? You act like nothing has changed in your life despite having kids, living your life like you're still single. How long do you think you can go on like this, expecting to be taken care of like a child? Don't you understand that you're a parent now?
Oh, right. So everything is my fault, huh? Just go ahead and be friendly with the kids. I'll be off having fun with my boss while you're at it.
Fine, I get it.
What are you thinking? Why are you in a place like this?
That's what I was going to ask you. What are you doing sneaking into a married woman's house while her husband is away on a business trip and having a cozy overnight getaway, just the two of you? Looks like you're not even in the same company and you're not going out golfing either. What happened to that supposed golf trip with your boss?
Are you kidding me? You weren't following me, were you?
Well, technically speaking, it wasn't me. I just had a professional investigator check things out for me. And it turns out you were having yet another overnight getaway at your girlfriend's house today. So I thought this is ridiculous and decided to crash the party.
The audacity! You're the one who should be saying that! Your girlfriend must have been so shocked that she started crying, right?
At a time like this, you're still worried about her? Oh, this is hilarious. You came out half naked, for crying out loud. Sure, I had my friend ring the doorbell so you wouldn't know I was here, but still. How could you be so foolish? It's disgusting. There's no way out of this, is there?
By the way, why are my relatives here with you?
I brought them along. Just showing evidence wasn't going to cut it. They said it must have been a misunderstanding. So I asked them to come to the scene with me. That way they could see the undeniable proof with their own eyes, right?
You've gotta be kidding me! How did it come to this?
That's what I was about to say. Could you bring your girlfriend out here already? If you don't want to talk outside, then just let us in the house. We can all have a nice chat together, can't we?
Are you insane? There's no way I could accept such a chaotic situation.
But you're the one who created this chaos. You left the kids with me, and here you are cozying up with your girlfriend. As a father, as a man, and as a human being, you're the lowest of the low.
Well, that's because ever since you became a mother, you've been all about the kids. You've lost any charm or femininity you might have had, so it's no wonder.
You think that's a valid excuse for your actions? I have every right to want to protect the child I brought into this world with my life, and I believe that wholeheartedly. If we could have co-parented together, maybe I could have felt like a woman again. But you've done nothing but come home and leave all the cooking, cleaning, and child rearing to me, while you play with the kids only when they're in a good mood. You sit there fiddling with your phone instead of helping with their studies. I simply don't have the time to deal with a pathetic man like you. If you wanted attention, you should have made time for me.
There's no need to pile it on like that. How did you even figure this out?
You underestimate a woman's intuition, don't you? The moment you started going out more, I felt something was off. You stopped wanting to be intimate, and then there were those little moments where you'd compare me to other women. You really had no idea you were doing that, did you?
Huh? Was I doing that?
Yes, you were. And then, just at that time, I started getting tips about you. They said you were at a resort with another woman. You'd go to popular resorts, so of course my friends would see you. This world is much smaller than you think, you know.
Wait, I was being seen like that?
Yep, and that's when I became convinced. But since I thought that alone would not be enough proof, I got my friends and a private investigator involved to prepare for a solid case against you.
A case? What do you mean? We're married, right?
We are married, huh? You're the one who betrayed me, so who are you to talk? I've been putting up with your betrayal all this time. When I told you that it was unreasonable for someone to invite you knowing that you had a wife and kids, I was angry for my beloved girlfriend, wasn't I? Just go ahead and do whatever you want because I am getting a divorce.
What? But the kids are involved too. Don't you think it's cruel for them if we divorce?
It's better for them to grow up in a warm, loving home rather than living with a father who's a traitor and watching his dysfunctional relationship with their mother.
Why would you say something like that?
Because you act so selfishly. I will definitely be filing for alimony, and as soon as the other husband gets back, I'll be talking to him. You're getting divorced from me, and you can deal with your life afterward as you please. I'll be sure to claim a hefty alimony from you, and of course you'll be paying child support too.
Stop it! This is all because you stopped being a woman. You just wanted to spend time with another woman, didn't you? You have some responsibility in this too.
Do you think I'm just going to let that slide? I'm managing everything while also taking care of 2 kids. Why do I have to continue to deal with someone who can't even take care of the children or help with the household chores?
Dealing?
I am working without any time off. If you wanted my attention, you should have saved some energy for it. You come home fiddling with your phone, eat the food I made without a second thought, take long relaxing baths in the bathroom I scrubbed clean, and sit there looking satisfied at the faces of the children I struggled to put to bed, pretending to be a father. You're a worthless man.
You don't need to say it like that.
I'm doing everything. And you expect me to be your night partner too? If you want me to keep looking beautiful by putting on makeup and taking care of my hair and skin, then you better start making time for me to do that. I am barely managing to keep myself alive and care for the children. And you think you can just go off and satisfy your own desires with other women? You don't deserve to call yourself a father.
I'm sorry, I messed up. Just don't make this a bigger deal than it is. Please don't tell her husband. I'll do my best from now on.
I don't have the space in my heart to accept the dirty person you've become. You are a criminal who broke the law, so make sure you pay for your actions. It is pathetic how you keep worrying about yourself. Oh, and just so you know, my punishments won't end here. I'll make sure to report this to your workplace as well. You were supposed to be on a trip with your boss, so we need to confirm that, don't we?
Wait! Please stop! Anything but that! I'm working hard for my promotion! If you ruin that for me, my future!
Have you realized the extent of what you've done before you started talking? You have no idea how much you've hurt me. You're sacrificing the children for your own desires. Finally, my husband lowered his head, ready to admit his faults, something that took far too long. Initially, I thought he would allow me and my relatives to enter his home so that we could have a serious discussion about the situation at hand. However, to my shock and a certain degree of satisfaction, he was outright punched by her father as soon as he arrived. Witnessing that confrontation was a bizarre mix of emotions, but I must admit it left me feeling quite satisfied. It was a cathartic moment, especially considering all the pain and betrayal I'd been experiencing. The woman in question came to me and apologized deeply, going so far as to kneel before me in a gesture of contrition. I could see the remorse in her eyes as she bowed her head, trying to express her regret for what had transpired. However, I could not simply accept her apology at face value, for I had a child whose future was now entangled in this mess. My heart ached as I thought about how our lives had been turned upside down due to the actions of these adults, who seemed to act without considering the consequences. Understanding the gravity of our predicament, I made it crystal clear to her husband just how frivolous she had been in her actions with my husband. I felt it was essential for him to know the full extent of what had happened, the betrayals and the disloyalty that had transpired between them. It wasn't merely a matter of emotions, it was a violation of trust that had ramifications affecting not only the adults involved, but also the innocent children caught in the crossfire. As we engaged in this painful discussion, I realized that she seemed to be a full-time housewife, dedicating her life to maintaining her home and caring for her family. However, her world had turned upside down when her husband filed for divorce, a decision that had consequences not only for her, but also for everyone else involved. I couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions watching her situation unfold. It was ironic that we both found ourselves in such unfortunate circumstances, albeit in different ways. After her husband left her, my husband faced his own set of consequences. I had reported the affair to my company, which led to my husband being reassigned to a remote location. This drastic change in his work situation felt like a punishment that fit the crime. But it was also a bitter reminder that we were both paying for the choices made in moments of weakness and poor judgment. It was as if fate had dealt us both a harsh hand, forcing us to start down a path of disappointment and regret. In our conversation, I made sure to emphasize that this situation wasn't merely a fleeting moment of weakness. It had lasting repercussions that would follow us for years to come. I needed her to understand that while she sought forgiveness, the consequences of her actions extended far beyond a simple apology. My husband and I were now living in the fallout of their indiscretions, and it was our child who would ultimately bear the brunt of this turmoil. The stakes were high, and I couldn't allow myself to become lost in anger and revenge. As I spoke, I could see the emotions flickering across her face. Guilt, sorrow, and perhaps a hint of realization that her actions had not only harmed me, but had also disrupted her own life and family. The weight of her decisions was heavy, and I sensed that she was beginning to grasp the far-reaching effects of what she had done. It was a complex web of emotions that we were both navigating, filled with resentment and a yearning for understanding. I recounted the moments that had led to this confrontation, recalling how my husband had initially been evasive about his feelings, how he had made excuses, and how I, in turn, had been forced to confront the reality of our fractured relationship. The betrayal stung deeply, but this encounter felt like a necessary step towards resolution, or at least towards closure. We were both feeling the fallout from the choices made by those we trusted, and it was a painful yet pivotal moment. As she listened to my words, I could see her processing the information, reflecting on her own role in this saga. She began to share her perspective, explaining her frustrations and the feelings of neglect within her marriage. I listened patiently, allowing her to express herself, knowing that understanding her viewpoint was crucial in moving forward. While I sympathized with her feelings of loneliness and isolation, I couldn't let that cloud my judgment regarding the choices she had made that had led us to this point. Her story mirrored my own in some ways, and it was a stark reminder that unhappiness in a relationship can lead people to make choices they might not otherwise consider. We were both victims of our circumstances, yet I felt an overwhelming need to assert that her choices were hers alone. I wouldn't let her actions undermine the seriousness of what had transpired. The damage had been done, and acknowledging that was the first step in seeking a resolution. As the conversation continued, we both began to reflect on the changes our lives had taken. She spoke of her dreams and aspirations that had been sidelined due to the pressures of family life and the neglect she felt from her husband. In turn, I shared my struggles with maintaining stability for my child amidst the chaos. We found common ground in our shared experiences of loss, even if the roots of our problems were different. It was an unexpected connection forged through our pain. The meeting felt transformative in many ways, as we moved from being adversaries to allies in understanding our struggles. I felt a strange sense of solidarity with her, realizing that we were both navigating a rocky path filled with uncertainty and disappointment. Our conversations morphed from accusations into discussions about how we could both move forward, despite the hurt that lingered in the air. After we shared our stories, we noticed a shift in her demeanor. The tears in her eyes were replaced with a semblance of understanding and acceptance. She grasped the weight of her actions, and I could tell that she was beginning to process the implications of her choices. This encounter was not merely about seeking revenge or an apology. It had become a moment of shared understanding, an acknowledgement of the complexity of our lives. In the end, we parted ways with a newfound sense of respect for each other. It wasn't a resolution to all our problems, but it was a step toward acknowledging the reality we faced. I felt lighter somehow, as if shedding some of the burdens that had weighed me down for so long. While our paths were fraught with difficulties, we both understood that moving forward would require honesty, introspection, and the willingness to confront consequences of our own actions. As I walked away from that encounter, I felt a surge of determination. I knew I had to focus on rebuilding my life and securing a better future for my child. The challenges ahead would be significant, but I was ready to face them head-on, equipped with the knowledge that I was not alone in this journey. There was a shared understanding between us now, a recognition of our struggles, and perhaps, just perhaps, a glimmer of hope for what lay ahead. Reflecting on everything that had transpired, I realized that forgiveness was not an easy path, but it was essential for my own healing. I understood that I had to move forward, and I would have to let go of the anger and resentment that had consumed me for so long. It was a difficult realization, but it was necessary for my peace of mind. Our children were innocent in all of this, yet they were the ones who would suffer from the mistakes. Thinking about the future, I began to formulate a plan for myself and my child. I wanted to ensure that they grew up in a loving and stable environment, free from the chaos and uncertainty that had characterized our lives repeatedly. It was crucial for me to provide them with the support and guidance they needed to navigate their own lives, and that meant prioritizing their well-being above all else. The road ahead would be challenging, but I was determined to face it with courage and resilience. I knew I couldn't change the past, but I could shape the future for myself and my child. Through hard work and determination, I would strive to create a better life for us both. I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I was ready to pursue it with all my heart.
May, thank you for yesterday.
Hey, you don't have to thank me for that. It was nothing. I finally got to greet your parents, and I feel like we're really moving forward toward marriage now.
About that. Is it okay if I bring something up?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm sorry for asking you to come for the marriage greeting, but I've decided to reconsider the marriage.
Huh? What are you saying?
I mean, I'm going to annul our engagement.
Wait a minute. I can't understand what you mean. Yesterday we had the marriage greeting, right? And now you're telling me you want to break off the engagement?
Yeah, it seems it's better for both of us to go that route.
What do you mean, better for both of us? I want to marry you.
Things have changed on my side.
What happened?
Well, you know how our law firm has been doing really well lately, right? We've secured advisory contracts with major corporations.
Of course I know. I work as a staff member at your firm.
So my dad is saying that my name is going to get bigger and bigger from now on.
Your dad is a lawyer, so he knows about that stuff well. We talked about this yesterday, so I get it. That's why I wanted to support you as your wife.
I was counting on you to do that, too.
I already told my friends, and my mom was really happy about it. But to back out of the engagement now, that's unacceptable.
I feel bad about it, but you have to think about me, too.
What do you mean?
From now on, I want to make a name for myself as a lawyer. And it turns out that having you as my wife isn't suitable for that.
Why not?
Do you not realize what your status is?
Huh?
You dropped out of high school, right? Do you really think someone like you can become my wife?
What do you mean by that? Are you saying that because I didn't graduate high school, that's the reason for breaking off the engagement? And I've told you I'm not a dropout. I didn't attend high school, but I got my high school equivalency diploma. You proposed to me knowing that, didn't you? Hey, Kurt, what's happened to you? It's like I'm talking to a completely different person.
A different person. That might be true. I woke up after hearing what my dad said yesterday.
Your dad?
My dad said that someone like a high school dropout shouldn't be in the family. He said that it would look bad to bring someone like that into the family.
Look bad?
You probably wouldn't understand, but I realized that to rise in the legal world, I have to consider these kind of things carefully. So we've decided that I should marry someone from a more prestigious background with a higher education.
That's just... You're really just taking your father's opinion at face value?
That's right. My dad is my idol, and he's never done anything wrong in his life. If I follow my dad's advice, I know I won't make any mistakes.
I am stunned. You're 28 years old.
I know it's bad, but I can't go against my dad.
Don't joke around. Was that what your proposal meant? That you could just withdraw it because your father told you to?
Anyway, there's no marriage with you anymore. This can't be changed.
I trusted you, believing that you would seriously work hard at whatever you did, and I decided to marry you.
May, I really feel bad about this, but everything I've been working for has been to make a name for myself in the legal field, so please just accept it.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am. I can't go against my dad's wishes, and I don't want to jeopardize my career.
You think you can just throw everything away? You really mean that? After everything we talked about, after meeting my parents?
Look, I didn't want to hurt you. I thought about it all night, and I genuinely believe this is for the best for both of us. I want to achieve my dreams, and I can't do that if I have to worry about the reputation of my wife.
Reputation? So I'm just a name to you now?
No, that's not how I see it. I love you, but I'm starting my career and I need to focus.
Love? What does love have to do with your decisions now? You're saying that love doesn't matter when it comes to your career and reputation?
It's not that simple, May. I wish it could be, but in the real world, people judge you based on who you're with. My dad is right in that regard. I need to think about my future and the image I'm projecting.
You're so focused on your image and your future that you're willing to sacrifice our love for it? This is insane!
I know it sounds harsh, but that's the reality we live in.
So what happens to us now? Am I just supposed to walk away quietly and accept this? After everything we shared, after all the moments we spent dreaming about our future together.
I wish I could change it, but I can't. I have to put my career first, and this decision, as hard as it is, feels necessary for me right now.
This is beyond disappointing. I thought we were building something real together, and now you're just tossing it aside because of your father's expectations?
Expectations are a part of life. You know this, and I thought you understood how important this is for me.
No, I can't accept that. You're letting your father dictate your life. You're an adult, Kurt. You can make your own decisions.
I know I'm an adult, but there are things I can't ignore, and my father's opinion is one of them.
So you'll just go on living your life as if I never existed? You're okay with that?
It's not that I want to forget you. You mean a lot to me, but right now I have to prioritize my career and my family's expectations.
What family? The one that's ashamed of me because of my education? I won't allow you to put me down because of that.
I'm not putting you down. It's not about that. I'm trying to make a name for myself, and the stakes are high.
And at what cost? At the cost of our relationship, of our love? I can't believe you're willing to do this.
I can't be the man you want me to be while also trying to prove myself in my career. I thought about what you'd want, but I can't live a lie pretending that everything is fine.
So you're choosing a lie over me?
I'm choosing my future. I need to focus on what's ahead, and I can't drag anyone else down with me, including you.
You're not dragging me down, you're pushing me away.
I never wanted to push you away.
Well, you have.
I thought we could face the world together, but I'm realizing now that maybe we're not on the same page.
Maybe we're not. You made it clear where your priorities lie, and it's not with me.
Please, May, I don't want to hurt you, but I can't pretend anymore.
This is all so unreal. I never imagined I'd hear this from you.
I know it's hard, but I have to be honest with myself.
And with me? What about being honest with me? You owe me that much.
You're right. I do owe you an explanation. And I hope someday you'll understand why I made this choice.
I don't know if I can ever understand.
I'm truly sorry for how this turned out.
Sorry won't change anything. You're just throwing everything we had away.
It's not something I wanted to do.
But you did.
In the end, this is a decision I have to live with, no matter how painful it is.
I wish things were different.
So do I.
I never thought it would end like this.
Me neither.
May, did you do the marriage greeting properly? It was yesterday, right? Tell me how it went. Oh, Mom. Yeah, I know. I need to report back to you. I did it. Everything went smoothly. And how were his parents? How did they receive you? I think it went fine. We were able to talk and enjoy ourselves, so I think it was okay. Kurt's father is a lawyer too, isn't he? I've only seen entire lawyer families in TV dramas or movies, so I'm really curious about what they're like. Oh, it's nothing that impressive. They're just regular people like anyone else. But you know, you're the type of person who can do well even with people like that. You'll fit in, I'm sure of it. You think so? Of course, it's only natural. You're an incredible person who's carved her path all on her own. No, I haven't done anything that amazing. What are you talking about? That's not true at all. Remember, I lost my husband and could only manage to send you through junior high, but from there you built your career and did everything on your own. That's not something just anyone can do, you know. Is that so? Well, if you say so, it makes me happy. I've worked this hard as a way to repay you for everything, after all. What are you saying? I didn't do anything for you, really. Well, that's not true, Mom. You raised me all by yourself as a single mother. That's something I admire deeply. No, don't worry about me. You don't have to think about me at all. What matters is that you focus on being a strong support for Kurt as his wife. That's not something I can do anymore. What? What do you mean? I can't marry Kurt anymore. Why? Did you mess up somehow during the greeting? I can apologize to them if it'll help. No, it's not anything like that. Then what happened? The truth is...
May, can we talk about what's next?
What's next? You already broke off the engagement, didn't you? I don't need to hear anything else. There's nothing more to say.
No, it's not just that.
Then what is it?
I'd like you to leave the firm, too.
What? Why would I need to leave?
The firm is growing quickly, and having someone with just a middle school education among the staff doesn't look good, you know?
For the last time, I'm not a middle school graduate. And firing me over something like that is ridiculous. This has to be a joke.
So, how about you make it a voluntary resignation? There's no reason to make this messier than it already is, right? I'll make sure you get a severance package.
This is absurd. First you break off the engagement and now you're trying to fire me too? Are you trying to strip everything away from me?
It's not everything. You still have your dear mother, don't you? Just go live quietly with that hopeless woman.
Kurt, do you realize what you're saying right now? Why would you even say something so cruel?
Let's just say my father's been teaching me the laws of leadership. My perspective has changed a bit.
Even so, what exactly makes my mother hopeless in your eyes?
She's an old spinster who couldn't land anyone herself, that's what. You don't think I'm wrong, do you?
My mother raised me on her own. She sacrificed her happiness to take care of me, putting all her time and effort into making sure I had a good life. And yet, you dare speak about her like this?
That's got nothing to do with me. Anyway, just leave the job already. We'll bring in some new, attractive staff, and that'll be that.
Fine, I'll leave. I don't need to stay at a firm like this.
Good, good. So you've made up your mind, huh? I'll hold you to that.
Don't come crying to me when you regret this decision.
Congratulations on quitting. I guess this really is goodbye for good. Now that I think about it, the fact that I was actually considering marrying you, I must have been completely out of my mind.
Yes, you're right. I feel exactly the same way. The thought of never having to see your face again, well, that's a relief to say the least.
Right back at you. I even added a little extra to your severance pay, so be grateful and take it.
Save your pity. I don't need it.
Well, not that anyone else out there is gonna hire someone with only a middle school education, but good luck anyway. Me, I'm marrying a beautiful, classy young lady and living it up. You know, I might even send you a few photos now and then, just so you can see what it's like to live the good life, the way wealthy people do.
No, thank you. And since this will be the last time we ever speak, I have something important to tell you, so listen up.
What's that supposed to mean?
I am not a middle school graduate.
Oh, here we go again. Yeah, I know. You've got that so-called high school equivalency certificate, right? Well, to me, it makes no difference whether it's middle school or some GED. It all falls under the same loser category to me. You're still at the bottom, and that's that.
No, you still don't get it. I'm not even a high school graduate.
What?
My highest level of education is college.
You went to college? I've never heard anything about that.
That's right. I kept it hidden on purpose because I didn't want to talk about it.
What are you talking about?
I'm a graduate of Cambridge University.
What? Cambridge?
Yes, that's right. Ever heard of it? It's one of the most prestigious universities in England.
Of course I know Cambridge, but are you trying to tell me that you graduated from there?
Exactly. After earning my high school equivalency, I studied abroad and eventually got accepted to Cambridge University.
There's no way that's true. You're just making this up to sound impressive.
And why would you assume I'm lying?
Because someone with only a middle school education could never get into Cambridge University. That's one of the toughest universities in the world. There's no way a loser could have made it there.
Who said anything about me being a loser? I didn't finish school because I couldn't handle the academics. My father passed away when I was young, and my mother did her best, but even so, she told me that continuing with school wasn't going to be an option. I let go of that path out of necessity, not for lack of ability. Academics were actually one of my strengths.
So, if that's true, then why did you keep it a secret all this time?
Because I hate how people treat you differently the moment they find out.
What do you mean, treat you differently?
The moment someone hears that you're a Cambridge graduate, people's reactions change. They look at you strangely, make all sorts of assumptions. Expectations build up. Even during my time at university, my relationships got strained because of it. So after I came back, I decided not to tell anyone, not even you. But I was going to tell you eventually after we got married.
You're really twisted, you know that?
Twisted? How exactly am I twisted?
Do you seriously think I'm buying all this? You're just trying to make up some story about how you're not really a loser so that I'll take back the breakup, aren't you? You're desperate.
What are you talking about? I have no intention of getting back together with you. Honestly, I'm relieved I won't be marrying you. I've seen just how horrible your family is.
Oh, so the whole Cambridge University thing is supposed to be true, huh?
Yes, every word.
Then I guess you wouldn't mind if I asked your mother about it, would you?
Go ahead if you want, but why would you do that?
Because I need to inform her that her daughter's turned into a complete liar.
For the last time, I'm not lying.
Fine, I'm done listening to this nonsense. I'll call her right now. I bet even your own mother will disown you once she hears what you've been saying.
She'd never do that, you know.
Oh, you think so? Well, maybe she won't be so confident once I show her what her Cambridge graduate daughter is really like. You know what? This might actually be fun.
What? What are you planning to do? Don't do anything weird.
Shut up. You just sit there and keep your mouth shut. Mom, is now a good time?
Mom? Oh, stop it. You broke off your engagement with May, didn't you? Don't call me that. It makes my skin crawl.
No, Mom, that's not it. I was seriously considering marrying May.
Then why did you break it off?
Our trust in each other has been shattered.
What do you mean by that?
May has been lying to me this whole time. She told me she graduated from Cambridge University. That's why I hired her at our firm, but then I found out she's just a high school dropout, and it shocked me. You knew about this, didn't you, Mom? Why didn't you tell me? Because of this, I'm seriously thinking about a lawsuit.
What are you talking about? You can't file a lawsuit over something like this.
You just don't understand because you're not a lawyer. I'm planning to seek a significant amount in damages.
Go ahead and try. That claim will get thrown out immediately. May actually graduated from Cambridge.
Wait, really?
Of course. If you want proof, I can send you a copy of her diploma.
No, that's not necessary.
Actually, it's you who's lying here, isn't it?
Me?
Yes. Because May only told you she received her high school equivalency diploma. And then you decided that she was unworthy of your prestigious family, and that's why you called off the engagement, right? Why did you lie about it? Did you think I'd freak out if I found out?
So that's what she told you?
Of course, we're a close-knit family. You've hurt my beloved May. I will never forgive your family for this.
You really think it's that simple, don't you? You can't just say you'll never forgive us without thinking about the consequences. May deceived me. She's the one who built her life on lies.
So what? Are you saying she doesn't deserve love and happiness because of her past? Just because you've had your life handed to you on a silver platter doesn't mean everyone else has had it easy. May worked hard to overcome her circumstances.
That's not the point. She lied about her education to get into a prestigious firm, and that's a betrayal.
It's not betrayal, it's survival. Everyone has their reasons for doing what they do. You of all people should understand that. You've made decisions that might not be great either.
That's not the same.
Isn't it? I think it is. You're talking about her as if she's nothing when she's fought for everything she has. You have to give her some credit for that.
You know what? I'm tired of arguing with you.
You don't see the big picture. You're too blinded by your assumptions about May.
I'm not blind. She manipulated me, and you're just making excuses for her.
She was trying to build a life. She wanted to make something of herself. Is that so wrong?
Maybe, but lying about something so important, how can you justify that?
She's not a criminal. People lie for many reasons. It doesn't make them a bad person.
What about trust? If you can't trust someone, how can you be with them?
You're right. Trust is crucial. But you need to understand that trust can be rebuilt. This isn't the end of the world.
But it feels like it. I've been betrayed, and you want me to forgive her just like that?
Not forgive her, just give her a chance. Talk to her. You might see things differently.
What if I don't want to? What if I can't?
Then that's your choice. But you need to understand that by pushing her away, you're also pushing me away.
How can you say that? You're defending her!
I'm defending truth. I'm defending someone who deserves better than this.
So you're saying I should just accept the lies?
I'm saying you should understand why she felt the need to lie in the first place. Life isn't black and white.
I don't know if I can handle that.
You have to try. You owe it to her, and you owe it to yourself. You might find the truth is more complicated than you thought.
You think it's that simple? Just talk it out and everything will be fine?
No, it's not simple. It's complicated and messy. But that's what relationships are. You can't just throw it all away because it's hard.
I don't know.
Just think about it, please.
You really graduated from Cambridge University, huh?
Yes, finally figured it out?
So, does that mean you're actually suitable to marry me?
Don't be ridiculous. Just because you found out, that doesn't mean I'm going to marry you. I never want to see you again.
Is that so?
And I'll be demanding compensation for the emotional distress.
Are you serious?
Of course. With such a one-sided engagement cancellation, it's only natural that there would be compensation involved. After all, I used to work in the legal field myself. I have connections with a lawyer who specializes in marital issues. I'll ask that lawyer to help me file for damages. Be prepared for a hefty bill.
Damn it! Have you already made plans for this?
Of course. I started this process right after you broke off the engagement. Did you think I would just sit around and cry about it?
Fine by me. You want compensation, I'll give it to you.
Oh, you're admitting it easily, aren't you?
I don't care. It'll just be like a severance payment, but you better not try to contact me ever again.
Gladly. I'm already preparing to move on to the next step.
Huh? Next step?
Let me tell you why I joined a law firm. I studied business administration in college, and I thought it was essential to have legal knowledge if I wanted to run a company. In today's society, you can't predict what might become a risk. If you have legal knowledge, you can avoid these landmines while pursuing your activities. So I decided to learn practical knowledge by working at your firm. From now on, I'll run my own company and do what I want. I initially thought that if I married you, I would just quietly step into the household, but that's no longer necessary.
Do whatever you want. A prideful, high-achieving woman like you won't find a man to take you in anyway. You might as well earn some money. It's the only way you'll survive. I'll get all the beautiful women and money for myself.
Oh, really? I can't imagine you actually being able to pull that off.
What did you just say? You know better than anyone how much I'm gonna rise in status from here on out.
Aren't you planning to sign a contract with a major corporation?
Yeah, that's right. I'm the only lawyer in this field who can sign a contract with that company. This will change how others perceive me. I'll be making tons of money from consulting fees and everything else, and I'll be catching myself some beautiful women.
Do you really not realize why you were able to land that contract?
It's because I'm competent, obviously.
You're just riding on your dad's coattails, giving me hand-me-down work.
What did you say?
At least that's how the people around you see it.
Then how do you think I got the contract?
I promoted you.
What are you talking about?
You've been hiding the fact that you graduated from Cambridge University, right? But there's someone who knows about it.
Who is it?
People who studied at Cambridge with me.
Well, of course.
Exactly. Among them, there is an American who worked at the company you're about to sign the contract with. I set up a meeting with them and promoted you. It seems that person was advancing in the legal department, so everything went smoothly. At that time, I was really eager to raise your profile, and that person believed in me enough to help you secure the contract. But it seems that contract will be null and void now.
What?
Of course, since I revealed everything about you. They said they were disappointed in you.
That's a lie! It's a lie!
I'm sorry, but this is the truth.
Wait! Our business is already struggling as it is! If the contract falls through, and on top of that I have to pay compensation, I really won't know what to do!
I don't know. Why don't you go crying to your dad? Though I don't think he can do anything about it.
Listen, I've woken up now. I realize I really need you. My dad was wrong. We really should be together.
What are you saying now? You've got to be kidding.
Please don't abandon me. I can truly become an excellent lawyer. You're the one who understands that best, right?
No, I really don't think you're cut out to be a lawyer.
Why not?
Being a lawyer is a job where you save people, but what about you? You said people with a middle school education are at the bottom of society, and you called my mom leftover. There's no way someone who looks down on others can be a lawyer. You and your father are the same. You're supposed to be the kind of person who truly understands others, yet you judge people based solely on their education. If you want to be a respected lawyer, I think you should study ethics more than the law.
Fine. I understand. I'll change my attitude and work hard. So...
Don't think there's a chance for you anymore. I don't want to be involved with you any longer. Goodbye. May, have you talked to Kurt? Yes, I was able to express everything I wanted to say, and it felt really refreshing. But are you okay with losing your job? Don't worry, I've had my eye on a job I've always wanted to try, so I'm planning to start my own company this time. Really? Oh, that's great. I'm cheering for you, you know. Thanks. This time I'm determined to meet a wonderful person and have a happy marriage. I believe you can definitely find someone great. You have that kind of energy that attracts people. You really think so? I've had my doubts. Of course. You're strong and independent, and that's something many people admire. Plus, you've learned so much through your experiences. I hope so. I just want to find someone who appreciates me for who I am and not just for what I've accomplished. Exactly. Well, the right person will see your true value, both as an individual and for your accomplishments. I used to think that achievements were the most important thing, but now I realize that being with someone who understands and supports me is what truly matters. Absolutely. Relationships are built on understanding and support. You deserve someone who lifts you up and shares your dreams with you. Yes, I've learned that the hard way, but I'm ready to move forward and not look back. That's the spirit. Starting your own company will give you a chance to grow even more. Just imagine how fulfilling that will be. It will be. I'm excited about the possibilities. I want to create something meaningful that reflects who I am. And you will. I believe in you wholeheartedly. Just keep your heart open and good things will come your way. Thanks for always being there for me. It means a lot. Anytime. You're going to do amazing things, and I can't wait to see it all unfold. Kurt was confronted with an extremely challenging situation when he found out that he was going to be required to pay a substantial amount in alimony as a result of his recent divorce. The news struck him like a bolt from the blue, overwhelming him with a wave of anxiety, despair, and confusion. He never anticipated that the fallout from his marriage would lead him to such a financial burden, and now he was left grappling with the reality of his circumstances. The amount he was expected to pay was beyond his financial means, and it felt as though the weight of the world had been placed squarely on his shoulders. With each passing day, the pressure mounted, and the anxiety of how he would manage this unexpected obligation consumed his thoughts. In his moment of desperation, Kurt turned to his father, seeking the kind of support and guidance that a parent is often expected to provide during difficult times. He's always looked up to his father as a pillar of strength, wisdom, and authority, and he hoped that his father would understand the severity of the situation he was facing. Kurt believed that, as a parent, his father would be empathetic to his plight and would be willing to lend a helping hand, even if it meant stretching his resources. With a heavy heart and an even heavier mind, Kurt approached his father, explaining the financial predicament he was in and pleading for assistance to navigate the overwhelming demands that were being placed upon him. To Kurt's shock and dismay, his father's response was not at all what he had hoped for. Instead of the understanding and support he sought, Kurt learned that his father was also facing his own financial difficulties and challenges. This revelation hit Kurt like a freight train, leaving him feeling even more isolated and unsupported in his time of need. He had always viewed his father as a successful lawyer who had built a reputable career and provided for their family, so discovering that his father was struggling was a painful blow. The realization that his own father was not in a position to assist him added an additional layer of stress and disappointment to Kurt's already overwhelming situation. Feeling betrayed and frustrated, Kurt's emotions began to boil over. He had expected his father to be a rock of support, someone who would understand the challenges he was facing and step in to help him. Instead, Kurt found himself in the painful position of confronting not only his financial troubles, but also the reality of his father's shortcomings. As his feelings of frustration and betrayal intensified, Kurt confronted his father, expressing his anger and disappointment at the lack of support. The conversation escalated quickly into a heated argument, with both parties exchanging harsh words and long-buried grievances that had never been voiced. This confrontation was monumental for Kurt, marking the first time he'd ever truly fought with his father. The emotional intensity of the moment was palpable, and the fight revealed deep-seated issues within their relationship that had long been simmering beneath the surface. Kurt poured out his feelings of hopelessness, frustration, and betrayal, blaming his father for not being there for him when he needed him the most. It was a painful and raw exchange that stripped away any illusions of a supportive father-son relationship, leaving them both reeling in the aftermath. As the argument reached its peak, the consequences of their conflict became painfully clear. In a moment of anger and desperation, Kurt's father made the drastic decision to disown Kurt. This realization struck Kurt like a lightning bolt, leaving him feeling utterly devastated and alone. The disownment meant more than just losing financial support. It symbolized the severance of their bond and left Kurt with a profound sense of abandonment. To be disowned by a parent is a traumatic experience, and the emotional fallout would resonate deeply within Kurt, complicating his already tumultuous life even further. With his father no longer in his corner, Kurt felt as though he had lost not only a source of support, but also his sense of security and stability. The implications of this disownment extended beyond the immediate emotional pain. It stripped him of the familiar connection that many people rely on during tough times. The absence of a father figure in his life left him feeling isolated and vulnerable, navigating the complexities of adulthood without the guidance and support he had always expected to receive from his father. Meanwhile, the fallout from their explosive argument continued to ripple through both of their lives. Kurt's father, unable to cope with the emotional and financial strain of the situation, faced a series of setbacks in his own career. The law office he had built over the years, once a thriving practice, succumbed to bankruptcy. This marked a devastating blow, not just to his professional identity, but also to his self-worth. Losing a career that had defined him for so long would take an emotional toll, and the shame of such a public failure would haunt him for years to come. As the news of the bankruptcy spread, Kurt learned that his father's legal practice, once known for its success and reputation, had become a cautionary tale in the legal community. Clients began to withdraw their business, and the once thriving office was now a shadow of its former self. The reputation that Kurt's father had spent decades building was now tarnished, and the fallout of the financial struggles left an indelible mark on both of their lives, forever altering their trajectories. The loss of his law office meant more than just financial ruin for Kurt's father. It represented a deep sense of failure and loss of purpose. The emotional burden of watching his career crumble would weigh heavily on him, and it would be difficult for him to come to terms with the reality of his situation. The very fabric of his identity, which had been intertwined with his profession, had been ripped apart, leaving him feeling lost, directionless, and without the prestige he had once commanded. In addition to losing his practice, Kurt's father faced the possibility of losing his legal license due to the bankruptcy proceedings. The implications of losing his license were profound, marking the end of a career that he had dedicated his life to building. The loss of a legal license is not just a financial setback, it represents a deep breach of trust and respect within the legal community. For someone who had spent years as a respected attorney, this loss would be especially devastating and would cast a long shadow over his future. As Kurt witnessed the consequences of their conflict unfold, he grappled with feelings of guilt and regret. The realization that he had contributed to his father's downfall must have been an unbearable weight on his shoulders. He found himself questioning the choices that had led to this rift, reflecting on the paths that had diverged between them. The emotional turmoil of their conflict was compounded by the pain of seeing his father struggle, and as Kurt's own challenges continued to loom larger in his life. Meanwhile, in the wake of their disputes, both Kurt and his father became the subject of gossip and speculation within their community. Whispers of their financial struggles spread like wildfire, transforming their once reputable names into subjects of ridicule and judgment. The legal profession, which had once held them in high regard, now turned a critical eye upon them, reinforcing the idea that the consequences of their conflict extended far beyond their personal grievances. While Kurt faced overwhelming challenges, I found myself navigating a difficult trajectory. In stark contrast to Kurt's plight, I made the bold decision to start my own company. This choice stemmed from a desire to create a positive impact and build something meaningful in a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming. The journey of entrepreneurship was not without its challenges, but I was determined to carve out a path that aligned with my values and aspirations, a path that would allow me to contribute to the community while pursuing my passion. Building my company required immense dedication, hard work, and a willingness to take risks. In the early stages, I encountered various obstacles, from securing funding to establishing a client base. Yet through perseverance and determination, I gradually began to establish a foundation for my business. I poured my energy into creating a positive workplace culture, recognizing the importance of fostering an environment where employees felt valued, respected, and empowered to continue their best work. Many of my employees had faced challenges similar to those I had encountered, particularly those who had not had the opportunity to pursue higher education. I understood their struggles and aimed to provide them with a platform for growth and development. It was fulfilling to see my team flourish as they brought their unique perspectives and experiences to the table. Together, we created a culture of collaboration, support, and innovation, where everyone felt invested in our shared goals and the mission of the company. As a leader, I took on the responsibility of mentoring my employees, helping them navigate their professional journeys. I wanted to empower them with skills and knowledge they needed to succeed and grow within the company. Through training programs, workshops, and mentorship opportunities, I sought to provide them with the tools to thrive in their careers. Watching their growth and success has been one of the most rewarding aspects of my journey as an entrepreneur. In addition to nurturing my employees' careers, I felt compelled to give back to the community that had supported me through my own journey. Recognizing the challenges faced by individuals who may lack access to legal resources and representation, I dedicated a portion of my time to pro bono work. Engaging in these initiatives allowed me to leverage my legal expertise to advocate for those in need. I often took on cases that went unnoticed or undeserved, fighting for justice and support for individuals who felt voiceless in the face of their legal challenges. Through this work, I witnessed the profound impact of the legal advocacy that can have on individuals and families. Each case I took on was an opportunity to create positive change and advocate for those who might otherwise be overlooked. The experience of helping clients navigate complex legal situations not only reinforced my commitment to serving the community, but also highlighted the importance of compassion and understanding in our interactions with others. It served as a reminder that everyone has a story, and it is essential to learn and provide support when we can. Reflecting on my journeys and the path I had chosen, I felt a sense of fulfillment and purpose. The experiences I had encountered had shaped me into a more resilient and empathetic person, and I was grateful for the lessons learned along the way. I often thought about Kurt and his struggles, recognizing that while our paths diverged, we were both navigating the complexities of life and the challenges it presented. My experiences had reinforced the importance of empathy, understanding, and compassion, and I hoped that Kurt would find a way to rise above his difficulties and emerge stronger. As I continued to grow my business, I began to think about the future and the possibilities that lay ahead. I longed to take my mother on vacation to a beautiful resort, a well-deserved break after years of hard work and dedication to our family. She had always been there for me, supporting me through every challenge and triumph, and I wanted to honor her sacrifices by providing her with a memorable experience. Planning this trip filled me with excitement and joy as I envisioned us lounging on the beach, soaking up the sun, and sharing laughter as we created new memories together. I wanted her to experience the beauty and tranquility of the resort, surrounded by stunning landscapes and the gentle sound of the waves. This trip would not only be a getaway, but a celebration of the bond we shared and the love that had guided me through my journey. I began mapping out the details of the vacation, researching destinations and activities that would create an unforgettable experience for us both. The idea of spending quality time with my mother away from the hustle and bustle of daily life filled me with a sense of anticipation. I wanted to treat her to the luxury she deserved, giving her a taste of relaxation and pampering that she had sacrificed for so many years. In contemplating this vacation, I couldn't help but recognize the stark contrast between my journey and Kurt's. While he faced an uphill battle marked by the emotional turmoil and financial instability, I found a sense of purpose and fulfillment through my work and the relationships I'd cultivated. Our paths may have diverged, but both of us were navigating the complexities of life in our own unique ways. This realization reinforced the importance of empathy and understanding as we confronted the challenges life threw our way.